Fortnite nerds.
Yeah.
You know,
chilling on the
Fortnite
video
nerds.
games.
I mean, chilling, like playing video games.
That's the way to say it, yes.
You think an old man would say chilling on the video game?
That's what you just said, yes.
You think an old man would say chilling?
On the video game?
On the video games?
Well, oh well.
You're an old man.
If you want,
Well,
I'm not a gamer.
You're getting older.
I mean, I guess I am.
Mikey.
Yo. Good evening. How'd that sound? Is that good or bad?
That's good, it's fine.
We'll work on it.
It's like a new girlfriend.
We're trying to get a new intro.
You mean the
We're trying to get a
yos
new
or the
intro.
good evening? Which
Huh?
one? The
Both
yos.
of them. Yo, good evening. Does it work? Does it go together?
We'll see.
We'll find out.
see.
We'll find out.
Somebody in the chat.
Well, yeah. They'll let us know. Welcome
Oh,
back to
God.
Mik'd Up. Today's Monday, December 12th. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. A lot to talk about today on the show. A lot of sports happening. Still happening, whether
As
you
you can
believe it or
see
not.
on the ticker.
Even though you see the ticker. Even though college football is winding down, there's a lot of sports still being played. And in the middle of that, highlighting that, are the New Orleans Pelicans. Because they are hot. They are the number one team in the Western Conference, not just their division, the Western Conference. And they are playing like one of the best teams in basketball. We're going to talk more about that with Jake Madison. He is a host on Locked On Pels podcast. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm proud of you.
Why? Oh, yeah. I am proud of myself, too. But he's going to be on the show at 6:20 via video call. He'll have all of the questions to our answers to our questions. Not questions to our answers. Answers to our questions.
Dude, no, actually, I like that better. We should do a reverse interview.
Yeah, ask answers and let him ask the question. Yeah, I like that. But he's going to be on. Let's go run through the Heineken headlines right now. Obviously, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with Mike Leach and his family. Obviously, it's a terrible situation that's going down with him. We don't know a ton of details. The only details we know are probably the same that you know. He's in critical condition in the hospital. And it's just a sad, sad scene in Starkville. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. Hopefully he's able to recover and beat this somehow. And if I don't know what's happening, but just our thoughts and prayers are with him.
Moment of silence?
No, not yet.
With the family?
No moment of silence. I mean, he's still alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're not going to do that. I mean, what's this
I
guy
was
doing?
just going to say moment of silence just to respect the family. They're trying. It's a trying time.
I don't think you give a moment of silence for that.
Respect.
Yeah, respect. We don't give a moment of silence. Jaray Jenkins announced he's going to the NFL draft. I don't want Lloyd to somber down the show. I just want to give I want to make note of the serious situation that's going. Leave it to Lloyd to ruin that.
A lot of energy, bad brain.
Yeah.
I told you
lot of
before
energy, bad brain. Jaray Jenkins declared for the NFL draft.
Say that again.
Jaray Jenkins declares for the NFL draft.
Yeah.
He's had a good last couple years. I feel like he's had some moments. He's done really well. I wish nothing but the best for him. Hopefully he goes out there, gets an opportunity, gets drafted, gets an opportunity to go sign with a team, and has a long career in the NFL. LSU basketball, if you did not watch it, they are playing. They are 8-1. They beat Wake Forest. They were down 20 in the first half, came all the way back, beat them by 2. They seems like they're kind of getting better. I don't think that when people that have seen them, I don't think that they're super impressed right now, but they're 8-1. KJ Williams scored 35 points, went 7 of 9 from the three-point line. He looks like he is going to be a force in the SEC. I think they're going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to play well. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of guys on the team that can do some things. So they're 8-1. They're off to an 8-1 start. We're going to find out how good they really are the end of December because SEC play. When SEC play starts, they have, I think, 6 or 7 straight games against ranked opponents. And I think, or maybe the one game in between that they don't is to an unranked Florida team or somebody like that. So we're going to find out how good they are. Hopefully they continue to improve and are fun to watch because when LSU basketball is good, it's fun to go and do something in the wintertime to bridge you into LSU baseball.
With the Rats.
With the Rats. Speaking of Rats.
Hopefully, rest in
found
peace,
a rat.
Greg.
You saw a rat.
I mean,
Oh, you named him?
oh yeah.
Oh, I
He's
didn't know
too
you
big
put a
not to
name
name. He's a grown man.
Big
Does
old
he have a
rat.
closet here?
I
Probably.
think he has whatever he wants.
Oh, he has a bedroom up in the attic or something. I don't know
shit,
where he's
what-
at.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
you're gonna be scratching yourself worrying about him coming
Lord.
on here.
I wore underwear today.
I'm good. Thanks for letting everybody know that.
Yeah, that's
Well,
cool.
I'm saying,
appreciate
just
that.
in case Greg gets in here.
I thought his name was
It ain't for
something
free.
else. What'd you name him?
Craig.
I thought you called him Craig, then Greg, so it's Craig.
No, it's Greg.
Okay,
Greg
you're
with
doing-
two-
you're doing
with
that
3
on purpose.
Gs.
You're doing that on purpose. You're doing that on purpose. Stop doing that to me. LSU target. What's his name? Toviano.
Taviano.
Is it Jovian? Toviano?
Javier.
That's not it. Has announced to set his commitment date December 14th, which is Thursday, I believe. That's a huge LSU defensive back target. It seems like we are in the lead for him. We will see. We'll find out on Thursday. Hopefully he comes here. Sean Payton's been in the news a lot.
A lot.
He obviously does a lot of...
Been in New Orleans a lot, too.
He's been in New Orleans a lot. And he obviously does a lot of TV. He's an analyst on Fox, and he's great at that. He is very he's a very charismatic, he's intelligent, and people like being around him. Jeff Duncan wrote an unbelievable article about him in the, what paper is it? Or what publication is it?
NOLA.com.
NOLA.com.
Times-Picayune.
Times-Picayune, and obviously him and Sean have a very close relationship. He wrote the book about Sean Payton, and he said that it's not out of the realm of possibility that Sean Payton comes back to New Orleans. New Orleans is number 1 on his list. So,
Number 1. Huh?
with that said, number 1 they said. With that said, you got something to say?
Yeah, breaking news. Breaking news. Aaron Anderson, Edna Carr from Louisiana.
I want you to tell me what happens. What's happening?
He just hit the portal.
What was the conversation that me and you had 10 minutes before Jared got here and right before we got on here? I just want you to let everybody know.
Bring Shaz with you.
No. I want everyone to know. Let me hear. Let everyone know what we talked about. And I'm never a I told you so person. But what was the conversation that we had in the spring, early summer about these LSU guys that are going somewhere else or have committed somewhere else? What did I say when that happened? And I wish we had the clip to put that on
I'm
there.
gonna preach patience, is what you said. Be
Okay.
patient.
Be patient. Let the guys do what they're supposed to do. I said just because they go somewhere else, have committed or signed somewhere else, does not mean with the transfer portal that they are coming here. I also said just because a high school guy who's supposed to be very good goes somewhere doesn't mean he's going to. You don't know how good he's going to be until he develops. You're worried about him scoring a bunch of touchdowns in LSU. I don't think he did that this year, which is why he's back in the portal.
Total mismanagement of the roster.
And
by
maybe he's
Alabama.
coming back here. We'll see. That is breaking news. That wasn't on the Heineken headlines, but that is a very good headline to add. Hopefully
a ticker headline.
ticker headline. Hopefully he comes along with the other cornerbacks that we're about to get and some of the other
He's a wide
transfers.
receiver.
I mean, I know he's a wide receiver, but the other cornerbacks, the other 3, Denver Harris, Toviano, and your boy Desmond Ricks, who threw up the L at Alabama on his recruiting visit, which either is saying that he's coming here or the biggest troll job of all time. We'll find out.
One of the
whenever
two.
When he makes it.
They're going to be everybody's favorite player or everybody's least favorite player.
Right. Now, my question, we're talking about Sean Payton. I have been saying for the last few weeks that, and it's been very outlandish, and people look at me like I'm stupid. It's a dream, and I know it's not very realistic when I started saying it. I said that Sean Payton's going to come back next year, and there's going to be a big group of good free agent quarterbacks. The top of that group is Lamar Jackson. I said Sean Payton's going to come back and sign Lamar Jackson in free agency. Everybody was like, oh, no way that's going to happen. No way Sean even comes back to New Orleans. I, for some reason, felt like that's what he was going to do. I don't think this was about New Orleans. I think it was more about him taking a year off. Now it looks like they're number 1 on his list. He comes back. I think that now makes turns New Orleans into, I don't really want to go there because I don't really know how this thing's going to shake out, to a destination spot for some of the top quarterbacks in free agency. I don't know what's going to happen. I am very excited to see that he wants to come back to coaching for the New Orleans Saints. Whether or not there's a job opening, I'd imagine that we can create a job opening if he says, I want to come back. He also has increased his value exponentially because he showed you what. Would you agree? Let me ask you this. As far as on paper and the guys on the offense this year compared to the guys on the offense last year, who would be better on paper?
Is that even a question? Right?
No, this year, correct?
Yeah.
Right? So last year, Sean Payton, coach, went 9-8, 4 quarterbacks. Majority of the games were started by Trevor Siemian, right? He goes 9-8 with nobody at the receiver core. They had no help. It was a bad year, but they had a winning record. He leaves, better team, better quarterback situation in the sense that Andy Dalton has been playing
that
better.
That roster was way better, and it's been way healthier.
And now they're not even going to come close to sniffing 500 or over 500. And I think he's seen the value that Sean Payton has as a coach, and you're going to bring him back. And instead of going into a rebuild, you're going to go to a reload type of situation. We'll see. I hope that he comes back. At the end of the day, they still own his rights, so it would be very easy just to restructure his deal and say, hey, by the way, here's your pay raise. Come on back. I know you missed it. We missed you. We love you. We're sorry.
It's kind of like
do whatever you need.
I was about to say, I tell you what, you keep talking about the Sean Payton and Lamar situation. I like the idea that I find it really hard with the team. I think what are they right now, like 9-4 or something like that? The Ravens?
Yeah.
So they're 9-4, which means they ain't gonna have a good draft pick, right? It's gonna be a lower end of the first round. It's really, really hard for me to believe they'll let Lamar walk and then try to have to scramble for a quarterback next year. But
I agree. I mean, I do agree with you.
But I think if Sean comes back, that Aaron Rodgers situation really
I thought
heats
about
up.
that too.
I think that'll really heat up. I think that's really that's something that could possibly happen for real.
Now, okay, well, here's my next question. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. He still has the ability to do it. Do you want Aaron Rodgers for 2 years, or do you want a guy that you're going to have for more than that?
I want Aaron Rodgers for 2 years in the sense of this. It gives them a chance to kind of get back to normal when it comes to draft picks and all that stuff. Hopefully they won't have to trade and get rid of the house again, and it can kind of come back closer to normal. Because right now they don't really have that right now. Right? They've kind of like cleared the cupboard and then like they've put all the chips in and it hasn't worked. Right? Mm-hmm. I would like to see him get him in, be able to keep some of the roster that they have right now and kind of make a go at it like that. As opposed to trying to make moves and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which I'm sure they'll have to give up something to get him. But
he's a free agent.
If he opts out.
If he opts out. Here's my question. If Aaron Rodgers is in free agency, he opts out, he goes to be a free agent, or Lamar Jackson is in free agency, and they both have interest in coming to New Orleans, who would you rather take in free agency?
Right now in free agency? I'd roll the dice on Lamar.
Okay, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, I think you have the longevity with Lamar. I think that he's going to have – I would roll the dice on – Lamar is basically what Sean was going to try to make Taysom Hill into. But
I would roll the dice on – I'd roll the dice on Lamar and them figuring out a way to make him a really effective passer. However it is.
I think
Sean's
the guy for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think what they've done in Baltimore with him has been they've done a really good job of putting big personnel around him, and they've missed pretty much on every receiver they've tried to get around him, right? And so like they really haven't had anything that can stretch the field, right? They have that here. They don't really have the big personnel here, but I would love to see Sean be able to work with someone like Lamar.
I mean, can you imagine?
Because if they can hit on that and make him like a more effective thrower, holy shit.
Can you imagine having Lamar in the backfield with Kamara? You have Taysom Hill still in there somewhere. You have, at this point, you just might as well just make Taysom a running back.
Yeah.
Make him the second running, at this point, because he's in there and you can still throw to him, you can still split him out. You have those three guys in the backfield, plus you have Michael Thomas coming back because he's still on a deal. And you imagine, unless him and Sean Payton have a rift,
feels like they do.
It feels like you do. We don't know.
Pretty sure they do.
You know?
Yeah.
But let's say he's back or goes somewhere else. You trade him out. You still have Olave. You're probably going to get Jarvis signed a 1 or 2 year deal.
I don't know.
Definitely more than 1 year.
Yeah, so you have Jarvis back, which I think if Jarvis is healthy, stays healthy, he's perfectly fine. He's still really good. And you have an offensive line who's
1
going
year,
to be
$3
good.
million.
Yeah, 1 year, right?
1 year.
Yeah. So maybe re-sign him, but you are going to be an enticing place for high-level free agents or guys who are still have something left in the tank, but maybe aren't as expensive as they once were, right? But they want to come here because they feel like championship defense, unbelievable offensive mind, and now they got Lamar. Okay, let's go do this thing.
Do you really see a world though if Sean came back that Michael Thomas is still here?
I don't
Truthfully.
know. I don't know the.
That's what I'm asking.
I don't
now.
know.
No, but yeah, okay. Well, you gotta give me a yes or no. Do you believe that would happen? What's your gut feeling?
Yeah, your gut's been good.
Good gut.
Good gut.
I believe he does stay. I believe if Sean comes back, I believe Michael Thomas does stay, but that is contingent on.
A conversation.
Well, no. Obviously, the conversation has to happen, but that's contingent on the quarterback they bring in my head. I think that if they bring in, like, Lamar, somebody who's, like, a bona fide star, Michael Thomas, where are you going to go? Like, hey, mend the fence, figure it out, play with this. Now, if they bring a guy, if the quarterback position is a little unsure, I think he's gone.
You think it's contingent on that? You know what I think it's contingent on? I think it's contingent on them probably more than what they would lead on and more than what people would think. Is them shopping around Michael Thomas and trying to see what they can get for him.
Yeah.
And then I don't think if he stays, I think it's because
The contract is ass.
they won't be able to get what they want to be able to get out
I
of
understand.
him. Right? But I still feel like if you throw him in there and you have Sean in Jameis's ear and a healthy Jameis or somewhat healthy Jameis, I think you get a lot better performance.
You know who would take him in a heartbeat is the Titans after they got fleeced for A.J. Brown. And then you can get
Tell you
Yeah, but what are you going to get back?
When Treylon
Malik Willis.
No.
Why?
When Treylon Burks is healthy, he's been good, but he's been
Just hurt. I mean,
Why? We're in win now. Why?
Because I trust Sean Payton. Like,
there's two teams. There's two
implicitly.
professional teams in New Orleans. One stinks. The other one does not stink, and the other one are the New Orleans Pelicans. And we talked about them to start the show, how good they've been, how fun they've been, and I talked about how I am a fan. I watch basketball. I can talk basketball.
I can
The
play
guy
basketball.
I can play basketball, but the guy that is on deck is about to come on the show. He has a way more insight than I do, and he's a guy you want to listen to. You don't listen to me. I will just ask the questions. Jake Madison from Locked On Pels coming up next. We're gonna take a 30-minute break. 30
minute.
30-second, definitely not 30-minute break.
They're not going to be here. When we
30-second break to get him situated. You're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
Let's take a 30-minute.
30-minute break. I don't think we're gonna anybody. Today's show is brought to you by Dos Equis. Here in Louisiana, we like to have a great time. If you're looking to be the life of the tailgate, check out Dos Equis mini kegs. Hold 16 beers, easy to tap, easy to pour, easy to chill. Check it out. Become the life of the party. You're welcome. Hey y'all, it's Mikey from Mik'd Up. I want to talk a little bit about my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette. They're locally owned and operated for over 25 years. They have 13 locations, 4 in Opelousas, 5 in Lafayette, 1 in Broussard, 2 in Jennings, 1 in Crowley. They sell any type of car you could possibly find: Buicks, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia, along with 5 pre-owned locations. They have over 1,500 cars in inventory on site. Unbelievable service, unbelievable people. If you're like me and you're on the go, they can sell and they can ship you cars up to 200 miles. Unbelievably convenient. Again, my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette, go to their website at saveatsterling.com. Awesome people, go check them out. Our What's for Lunch segment is brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. Maybe the best burger in town. If you're not looking for lunch, you're looking for dinner, go check out Doe's Eat Place. They have unbelievable choice of meats. They have unbelievable tamales. They have a great atmosphere, great vibes. If you're looking for a homey Louisiana type of atmosphere, but you're looking for high quality food, Doe's Eat Place is your spot. Go in the back bar, sit at the bar, have a couple drinks, watch some games, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the vibes. Check out Doe's Eat Place, the best place in Baton Rouge to get your meats. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. I kind of teased it before we went into break. Jesus, Lloyd, you are. Let's take a little time out there. Let me finish. Yeah, thank you. We're talking a little bit of Pels. I mentioned how impressive they looked this weekend. They obviously swept 2 games. I say swept. It wasn't a series, but basically felt like a series. They swept the 2 games against the Suns. They're now sole possession of first place in the Western Conference. Jake Madison, host of Locked On Pels podcast, knows a whole hell of a lot more than I do about the New Orleans Pelicans. Jake, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me on to talk some hoops.
Oh, man, I love hoops. Obviously, football season starting to wind down. There's 2 teams in New Orleans. The other team stinks right now, so I'm really happy that the Pelicans have kind of lived up to expectations. And I kind of leads me into my first question, right? They come into the season with super high expectations based off the way they finished last season. Do you feel like that they've met those expectations or exceeded those expectations?
It's got to be exceeded, right? You're looking at a team that's first place in the Western Conference, and to go from the play-in tournament, a team that only won 36 games, had a sub-500 record, to that in this period of time, I think is incredibly impressive. And it's the way they're doing it. They're top 5 in offense, they're top 5 in defense. Right now, they're the only team in the league that meets both of those 2 criteria. You figured adding Zion back to this roster was going to lead to some very good things, and he's playing like an MVP candidate right now. But the West looked to be a little bit closer than we thought it might. Getting to the 4th seed would have been a big accomplishment for New Orleans, but simply avoiding the play-in tournament would have been one too. So to be first in the West, we expected this team to be good. I didn't expect it to be this good this quickly just yet.
Now, so I love that you said that, Jake. If we're sitting here talking about this team and we're looking at them, and you would say they kind of overperformed to this point. We're a little past 25 games into the season. And I personally feel like you still don't hear really like national hype on them yet. What's the buzz around the building, and do you feel that kind of matches what your perception of what's going on media-wise outside of New Orleans, I guess?
Yeah, look, this is not one of the sexy big-name teams in the NBA. No small markets are. Without getting into a ton of stuff with it, right, there's definitely some bias against small markets. This is a team that less than a year ago, people were saying they should move it to Seattle. They should move it to another city. New Orleans doesn't deserve a team. And all of that's just talking to try and make headlines and things like that. And if you were paying attention to what they were doing here in New Orleans, winning games, really turning it around with that trade for CJ McCollum after the deadline last year, you could see kind of the seeds being planted, the base being started of what should be a really good team. And now they're reaching that level, and they're doing it in such an emphatic way with that Zion 360 windmill dunk at the end of the Suns game on Friday. That was incredibly disrespectful in the most fun way. You can't avoid this team anymore. Zion's going to be in the MVP conversation now. They have to talk about them. But locals here, in New Orleans, and I think in the Gulf South region in general, know how special this team is. They know how fun this team is. They know that this is a really easy group of guys to root for. So with being in the building, the past couple of games, it's felt like a playoff atmosphere. The fans know the stakes of what these 2 games against the Phoenix Suns were. They know that that's kind of becoming the Pelicans' rival right now. They know that New Orleans was first place in the Western Conference. You couldn't get tickets for less than $200 the other night, which is incredibly impressive for New Orleans. So locally, people really know what's going on with this team. They're paying attention. It's kind of the biggest thing. You see a lot of Pels gear around the city right now. I was just at lunch with a lot of the sports media today for a holiday luncheon, and all they wanted to do, including the Saints people, was talk about the Pelicans. The national media will catch up to that eventually.
You talked about the Suns and Pels rivalry. Kind of started last year in the playoffs, and they obviously had 2 heated games this weekend. Both were very good games. Pelicans won both of them. How cool is that? It feels like a real rivalry, right? Like you have a team they're from completely different parts of the country, but it just feels like...
Well, there's one thing that tethers them together.
Right. Obviously, Chris Paul and a lot of the connections.
I was going to say the Kardashians.
Okay, well... but it feels like it's a real rivalry. How much fun has that been to watch unfold? And what was the energy like this weekend, especially after the Zion dunk and all of the extracurriculars that happened after that?
It really does feel like a rivalry. And you mentioned there's the Chris Paul connection. There's the connection between the two head coaches in Monty Williams, who's the former New Orleans head coach. You got Willie Green, who was just the lead there in Phoenix too. And then you have, it's been built off of that playoff series, right? Chris Paul and Jose Alvarado going at it in this game. In that series, Chris Paul taking cheap shots when he could, Jose being hurt for these 2 games, and Chris Paul trying to get some shots in to the point where Jose Alvarado refused to say his name in a post-game press conference and just referred to him as that guy. You had Zion Williamson putting the exclamation point with that dunk that he did at the end of the game. These two teams have a little bit of bad blood, and I think you don't see that enough in professional sports. And it's kind of, in a sense, refreshing to see that these two teams really want to beat each other. They get up for these games, right? A game in December in the NBA over an 82-game regular season doesn't truly matter, right? The stakes are never going to be that high, but it had a playoff level intensity on Friday night with how close that game was, punctuated by that dunk at the end. And then Sunday, the crowd was ready for it. You could hear it. The boos for Chris Paul coming through your TV, right? They were ready for the Suns team to try and influence that game in any way that they could. And trust me, when Chris Paul was fouled out of the game on a flop call that had to be reversed, which is just the most ironic thing that you could imagine. The crowd let him hear it. And to have that kind of atmosphere, to see New Orleans and this region in general, right, be ready for a December 11th game, that's never really been the case before. So people, again, know what's going on with this team. They're ready for this team to kind of arrive on the national stage, and you're starting to see it. When Zion drops 70 points on 70% shooting, which is an absurd number, people are going to take note of that, and the city certainly has. And it's fun to have a team that you're likely going to have to face in the postseason again. You got one more game against them this coming Sunday. It's fun to have a rivalry like that between two young, good teams, I think.
So, I mean, you talk about this team and how they're playing right now. I want to know with how Zion's playing, with how young this team is, because let's be honest, like, there's no real bona fide superstars on the team yet. We know what Zion's name has been, but we also know how much he hasn't been on the court. With this team being so kind of new together and all these guys being so young, talk about Zion taking on somewhat of a leadership role and how well this team has gelled together with seemingly everyone kind of playing a role and being very comfortable in their role already this early. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hit on 2 key things there, right? Like, Zion is becoming a superstar before our eyes right now. And it's maybe a bit of a blessing in disguise that Brandon Ingram has been out the past 7 games, right? They're riding a 7-game winning streak, and their second best player hasn't been playing whatsoever. They're also down another starter in Herb Jones. But it's forced Zion to really kind of take on this starring role. We saw glimpses of point Zion under Stan Van Gundy, but now they're unleashing that fully. You're seeing a guy who's 6'6", 280 pounds play point guard, and no one is able to stop him whatsoever. And when they get him the ball at the top of that 3-point line, let him survey the court, either drive down or dish out to someone else. But the way the court gravity he has, he's just influencing games on such an impactful level. And if you looked at these 2 Suns games, when the Pelicans were in the half court, if Zion had the ball on one side, all 5 defenders were on that half of the court. If you just split the court right down the middle, all 5 Suns defenders were over there trying to do anything they could to stop Zion. And it didn't work, and this is why he was just named the NBA's Player of the Week. So he's really kind of shed a lot of the baggage that he's had. You're kind of seeing Zion 2.0 is the way I've been describing it, in a sense, that he's willing to really step up and be this leader on the team and try and put the games that he's missed, the times when maybe he was checked out from this team in the past. And then what you've also seen this season is the Pelicans' depth shining through. Brandon Ingram not playing, Herb Jones not playing. You've seen CJ McCollum struggle this season and miss a number of games. Zion and Brandon Ingram have only played 11 games together this season, and they're still finding ways to go out and win because it's truly a next man up mentality. You have guys like Najee Marshall, an undrafted player, stepping up, being huge during this winning streak. You saw Jose Alvarado almost go for 40 the other night. It's just guys that are ready to go when their number is called, but that also work really well with the Pelicans superstar here in Zion. Najee works because he's making his threes and he's just kind of a bulldog on defense. defense. You have Jose Alvarado to help him get set up in the half court and add some three-point shooting as well. So all the role players just work, they fit, and the chemistry is there with Zion because he makes their life so much easier when 3, 4 guys, 5 guys at times are trying to defend him. Everyone else has space to work, and they're stepping up into those roles admirably, and it's why you could argue that the Pelicans are the deepest team in the league right now.
You talked about Zion and how good he's been, obviously not having the superstars around him consistently, right? And you talked about the leadership role and all of those things. When is Ingram expected back, 1? And 2, when he comes back, how is the chemistry? How are they going to be able to gel together? Because there's only one ball. Obviously, there's 5 guys on the court. You have 2 guys who kind of play similar types of games. Ingram's not going to shoot a ton of threes. He can, but he's more of a mid-range, get into the paint type of guy. How are they going to be able to mesh the offense and be able to have the same type of continuity when Ingram comes back?
It's a really good question. You know, when they've played together, so they've played 12 games together, they're 7-5. So it's still a winning record, but that's a far cry from where the Pelicans are right now at 10 games above 500. So I think it's still a bit of an open question of how do you find the right rhythm and flow to this offense to get both guys theirs, keep them happy, and still win basketball games. I think you still need to go with point Zion. It just works so much better. They did a lot of post-ups with him early on in the season, particularly on the right side, so that he could go to his left, try and score with his favored left hand, but it really only leaves him about a third of the court to work in. It neutralizes just the best aspects of his game, which is the scoring at the rim. He has more options and ability to score coming downhill from the top of the three-point line. You cut off passing options for him by posting him up to let him pass, let him create for others. They've got to still go with that, because at times when they don't do that, we've seen this Pelicans offense really struggle to get some points. It's why they almost didn't beat a team like the Detroit Pistons earlier on this week when that team only has 7 wins. They lost to the Indiana Pacers, who aren't particularly good either because of that. You want to avoid dropping those games. It's got to be point Zion. And that means getting Brandon Ingram into more of an off-ball role. And I think just kind of talking with him, Willie Green has done a really good job of getting through to these players, getting their buy-in, and saying, look, you're going to be able to score tons. You're going to have so much more space to score in any way that you want. When Zion has the ball in his hands and he's drawing 2-3 defenders just with the idea that he might touch the ball. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing, is kind of getting him to understand that his role is going to shift a little bit. Look, he wants to be the starring guy too. He wants to have the ball in his hands and create for others. He's going to be able to do that still. It's just going to hopefully come after Zion has kind of started the initial action in the offense for this team. As for when we're going to see him return, I believe he's listed as out still for this first game against Utah on Tuesday night. Hopefully we'll see him Thursday. If not, I would imagine Sunday against the Phoenix Suns on the road. But he's pretty close to be coming back. But what we've seen from him is he's a guy that's at his best when he's 100% healthy. We've seen him rush back from injuries. He dealt with a big hip injury last year and just wasn't his effective self, and at times was maybe hurting the team out there on the court. So that's a big part of the reason why you're not seeing him out there just yet, when he probably could play if it was a playoff game. But given the position the team's in, given the depth they have, there's no need to rush him back just yet. Still, I think we're going to see him back sooner rather than later.
Just needs a good soak in Utah.
Okay. You talked about depth. You talked about role players. I think if you're just a casual NBA fan, you're looking at the Pels roster, and you go down, you're like, man, what kind of depth is he talking about? It seems like there's a lot of guys that have very key roles on this team that a lot of people outside of New Orleans don't really know, right? Obviously, Jose Alvarado has done his thing. He's kind of made his name in the postseason as a pesky defender. Herb Jones did his thing last year as a defender, but he was a second rounder. You have a lot of guys that you look on the court and you're like, damn, these guys are committed to whatever role they have. How impressive is that, and how rare is that for a team in the NBA to have so many young role players that understand where they're at and love kind of the role that they're in?
Yeah, look, it's really important for this Pelicans team. This is a small market team. We do not know for sure if they will ever pay the luxury tax, and that means in the future you're going to lose players. So if you have another guy ready to go that's on a cheap rookie cost-controlled contract, that can create a lot of sustainability, which is vitally important in a small market like this. So these guys being ready to go and playing at a high level right now help you immediately, and they're also going to help you for the future. You mentioned some of them, but you look at these guys that are just kind of willing to sacrifice and do whatever it takes to win. Last year when Najee Marshall was on the court, he wanted to be the guy. He wanted to go out and try and score 30. It's not that good, right? When you look at some of these role players for this team, they're not starters. I think Trey Murphy would start on a lot of teams. Larry Nance Jr. would be a borderline starter for a lot of teams, but Najee, Jose, Dyson Daniels, who's been really good, and I'll get to in a second, none of those guys are starters here, but at times they're able to fill in and play that role, and that just speaks to how good Zion Williamson is and how well his game translates to elevating those around him. But to have that buy-in from a guy like Najee Marshall, who's like, okay, I know what my role is here. I'm going to sacrifice to do what I can do to help this team win. I think it says a lot about the culture that they built in New Orleans. It says a lot about Willie Green being able to get through to these guys. You have Devontae Graham, who's having his best season so far that he's had in the past couple of years. Struggled last year. You're seeing him come off the bench after being a starter for the majority of last season. He's bought into that role as that shooter off the bench. He's playing more on defense than we've ever seen from him before. This is going to go back to the head coach and how good Willie Green has done here in New Orleans, being able to kind of take this team that underperformed to start last year and see the gradual improvement for it. And it's really paying off for them this season with all of these guys ready to go. You even have a rookie in Dyson Daniels, the 8th overall pick. Rookies don't usually contribute at the NBA level on defense for the first 2-3 years in the league. Here he is, less than 30 games into his career. He's locked up LeBron James. He's locked up Luka Doncic, and he was putting the clamps on Chris Paul the other night as well.
I wanted to ask you a couple of things, 2 quick hitters real quick, just because of where the
Brace yourself.
No, these are normal questions. Normal
All
questions. Nobody's in trouble. When you see the Pelicans and you see the Suns, is it the best rivalry in the NBA that you see right now? And is that because of Chris Paul?
I think so. It's the one with the most bad blood, and these two teams really want to stick it to
Feels
each
like
other.
the bad boy
I just
Pistons.
love something about that, right? Yeah, like that's a good way to describe it. It's like the bad boy Pistons and say the Chicago Bulls, and the Bulls had to kind of grow up before they got through that team and play a physical style of basketball that they just weren't used to, and it kind of forced them to grow up and evolve. And you're seeing a little bit of that, I think, right here. I'm trying to think of like other rivalries that are kind of at that level, and it's just it hasn't been to this degree just yet, right? We don't have the Houston Rockets versus the Warriors anymore, so I don't think you can put some of those other ones in there. So this is like kind of the new best rivalry. Like all of these games going forward should be on national TV, you would think.
Well, no, and I would even say if you want to talk about like Warriors and Cavs, like it didn't have that much bad blood in terms of like these teams like they hate each other. Like Warriors and Cavs, they had to match up all the time and play against each other. You had the Draymond nut kick, and you saw LeBron kind of sun Stephen Curry. But this feels like legitimately we don't like each other. In the regular season, we're not even in Christmas yet.
No, and I think what helps is they're both in the Western Conference, right? Warriors-Cavs was what you saw in the finals, and it was just kind of the greatness of LeBron carrying that Cavs team pretty far. Here, only one of these teams can go to the finals, so the stakes are pretty high when they play every single time because it's going to influence postseason seeding, and if one team wants to make it, if these two teams play in the conference finals, it almost feels like there's more at stake for that than it would be if these two teams played in the NBA finals if they were in different conferences.
Jake, I appreciate you. One last question before I let you go, and it's probably going to be it's almost impossible to answer.
Oh,
but
good.
No, but it's based off of what you see right now, and based off of what you feel like they're going to be once everybody's healthy, everybody's playing together. Do you see the Pels as the favorites right now in the Western Conference to be that number 1 seed?
Ooh.
If you're putting me on the spot, I'd probably lean towards no this moment. It doesn't mean they can't be in the mix, right? I think you see a team like Memphis who's been there a little bit before New Orleans. I trust them a little bit more long term right now, and that's not a knock on the Pelicans. I just want to see Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson play a little bit more together before I come in and I go, okay,
Right.
this is all set. There's some things they need to figure out. When they show us that, and I have no doubt that they will, then I'm ready to elevate this team. The offense is legitimate. The defense is third best in the league and reminds you of the Toronto Raptors from years past, and those are some of the best defensive teams we've seen recently. If they keep this together, look, they're a legit title contender now, and if things kind of stay as is, they're the 1 or 2 seed in the West. That's a good spot to be in.
I can't imagine what the NBA playoffs looks like in New Orleans. I cannot wait. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that.
Well, they blew a 30-point lead against the Warriors.
Enough
in
over
game.
there, negative
sorry.
Nancy.
I mean, I was there.
Jake, I appreciate you for coming on. We'll definitely have you back on. You're awesome. Thank God the Pels have given Louisiana, especially South Louisiana, something to cheer about because, New Orleans is going through a little.
The Saints
The Saints are going through a little bit, but that's okay.
Andy Dalton is walking through that door.
That's okay. Well, they'll figure it out. I have no doubt. Hopefully, Sean gives everybody a nice little gift at the end of the year. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Do you know?
No,
Is Sean Payton coming back?
Trust me, no one knows that one just yet.
Jake, I appreciate it, man. Have a great night. Thank you again for coming on. We'll definitely have you back. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody.
Boy, 1 or 2 seed, huh? That'd be nice.
I have a future on them at plus 320 to win the division. Not even
At
just.
plus 320, that was it?
Where'd you get this?
But this is not to win the West. It's just to win the division.
When did you get
take
this?
one on the
Before
West?
the season started.
Did you take one for them to win the West?
I took them to win the. See, I did this to myself twice. I did not take LSU to win the SEC West, so I doubled down. I was like, wait, I should take the Pelicans to win their division, but I didn't take them to win the West. I took them to win the whole thing after that. So there's gaps in my bets.
Oh, there's gaps in your mind too.
That's true.
He was great, man. He
was super insightful.
Very insightful. Understands what he's talking about. Understands the team extremely well. Obviously, that's his job. He talks about them every day. I mean, it's an everyday podcast. Locked On Pels. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. If you liked what you saw or you liked what you heard, he obviously does this every single day. This is what he lives and breathes. I enjoy it because we talk a little bit about everything. So I love watching the Pels. I watched the game last night, but I'm not as in the mix as he is. So it's nice to have him on and come out to answer.
Gotta imagine he's one of the more informative people about Pelicans basketball right now.
Do you think he's frustrated that people are all of a sudden interested in the Pelicans?
No,
He's
No,
like,
I think that comes with the territory.
It absolutely comes with the territory.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think that it's something that they hope for. They can't expect because they're not a basketball market. They're not a team that's historically have had all this history. You know what I mean, behind them as far as like. It's not like the Lakers or the Knicks.
I mean, you got to think about it. Like, I mean, if you bring it back to the Saints, it's taken 15 years for the Saints to become, I won't necessarily say a big market, but a team where you expect good play out of year in and year out.
Well, there's a lot of chatter about. There's a lot of talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, think about whenever those years that Sacramento was so good, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to compare like types of organizations. Like Sacramento's not a team that you look at right now like, oh, Sacramento. But when they were like doing what they were doing and they were really good for that long stretch, you heard about Sacramento a lot more. And it was just, it kind of feels like that's what the Pels could try to get into, especially with the star power. I hope they were able to keep everybody.
Did Weber and White Chocolate play together there?
Mm-hmm.
They did. They played together, right? Yeah.
Maybe the best highlight tape of all time.
Oh, he was nasty.
He did the elbow.
Dude, he was unbelievable.
White Chocolate was nasty.
Unbelievable.
See,
he would be a absolute social media darling today.
and one legend.
Like darling today.
No doubt.
I just missed the boat on him because I saw him play for the Heat, and they were like, all of my my brother's friends like, no, and I was like, Jason Williams and what?
I can't hear you in here.
I don't know why. Can you hear now?
Try to see if your plug is
Yep.
There you go. See, sometimes it
Better?
happens.
Oh.
Sometimes it happens.
No.
But I saw old Jason Williams whenever he played for the Heat when he was like 55 and like
He
just
still
playing
had some
point
highlights.
guard.
He was
though.
still
No,
nasty
but
though.
I didn't know that he had that in his bag, and then I went and watched old.
Oh, he
Sacramento
had everything
Kings,
in that bag.
Yeah.
and I was like, "This is my hero."
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
He had everything in that
He's
bag.
unbelievable. But I do. I mean, we've been saying this. Me and you have been saying this a lot. We need to go to a game
Like
in
Santa.
New Orleans.
Yeah, we do.
All the gifts, pulling all the gifts.
Yeah,
out
he
the
was
bag,
like
right?
Santa back
You
in the
get a
day.
gift. You get a gift.
Speaking of
You get a
gifts,
gift.
Aren't there any tickets being given away?
There are, so you're going to put me on the spot, and I got to pull up the email so I can actually read it to them. I wasn't ready for that. But yes, tickets are given away. It's basketball season. I know people don't like to think about basketball season until Christmas, but it is basketball season.
If you're on the nice list.
And if you're on the nice list, and we're going to continue to give away tickets all through the college basketball season as of now. Hopefully we have some Pels tickets to give away at some point. These are not Pels tickets. These are LSU basketball tickets. Our first giveaway is North Carolina Central. You know, go watch the boys play. It's
a feeler game.
These tickets are given away tomorrow. These are for the game tomorrow, right? And we're giving away 4 tickets. If you have not downloaded the Caesar Sportsbook app and you are not a user of Caesar Sportsbook,
they're giving away free money.
They're giving away free money. They're also giving away
free
tickets. If you sign up using our promo code MMBBFull, we'll put it on we'll put it on Twitter with our code. If you use that code and you're not already a Caesar Sportsbook user and this is the first time, go ahead, use it. Enter to win the 4 tickets to the game tomorrow. You also have a chance, what happens is when you do sign up, you have your first bet is risk-free up to $1,250.
It's a free play.
It's a free play, which means if you bet $500 on a game and you win, congratulations on the win. If you lose, you get those $500 back in free play credits in your account. Promo code is MMBBFull. And again, we're giving up 4 tickets to North Carolina Central game, which is tomorrow. If you're looking forward, if you're interested and you want to go watch basketball and you want to go see these boys play, because hey, there's a big gap in LSU football. There's not really any LSU sports. Everybody here is an LSU fan. Not everybody. A lot of people are LSU fans. Go ahead and watch the guys play. They had a great win this past weekend against Wake Forest. They have extremely talented guys. Go support the Tigers and Matt McMahon. And you don't have to pay for it. It's free. Free tickets.
There you go.
Enter to win.
If you're in the 1K club, I will just give them to you personally.
Can you explain to the people what the 1K club is? Because, see, here's the deal. If you say 1K to some people, like that's not impressive because they don't understand the units that you're betting, right? Like, oh, this guy's in the 1K club. Like maybe he won 3 bets.
I know,
in the 1K
but
club.
I know a couple people were the 1K club.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like,
yeah, do it $10 at a time.
But yeah,
this is only a couple accounts I've seen where
so if you got into the 1K club betting $10 a bet, you're doing pretty well.
It's actually probably embarrassing. If I would have bet more, I'd.
No, if you'd bet more, you wouldn't be in the 1K club. This is how this thing goes right now.
I know. I might be in the 10K club.
I am not in the 1K
or
club right now.
Or in the halfway house.
Bankruptcy.
If you would have won the games you won to get in the 1K club.
If I did the same bets with just a 1 more 0, I mean, I wouldn't be showing up to fucking
See, but
work.
this is what happens, though. See, but this is what happens, though. Nah, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. This is what he feels comfortable. Because what happens is when you get outside of whatever your quote-unquote comfort zone is and you really start pushing it, just trying to, like, make it, that's when you start not trusting what you trust already. You don't go with what you want, That's just how it goes.
And that's why I've stayed steady.
Yeah, it's good.
Do what you know.
Sooner or later, you'll feel comfortable with putting another 0 on there, and then there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bat me 7th and let me get a first pitch fastball. I'm swinging every time.
Okay. Well, the scouting report will be out there.
Then okay, well, you got 1 month, and I hope you get all the hits.
Not even a month,
because they won't throw you that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that
never happened in high school.
The ambush thing is out of the window now. I think. I don't think that's too many off-speed pitches are being thrown in the game of baseball.
Nice.
No, the ambush is real. Just you have
to pick your spots.
It just may not be a fastball. You may get the hanger.
Yeah, no doubt.
You just got to know when you're gonna get that one that's right
hang.
Hey,
we gon'
hang. We bang it.
Have you responded to our special guest? Possible special guest?
I wanted to get your input.
I'm in on it.
Okay, I didn't know if we want to do more Pels content or if we wanted to do. Maybe...
Well, we don't have. I mean, I think it's a little different Pels content. If he's
no, I wanted your approval. I was going to respond.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have like 30 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. We got plenty of time to talk everything else.
Okay, cool. I'll text him back.
Different perspective. We're not telling who the guest is.
No.
Okay.
But it's a good one.
It's a great one. It's a lot of people here would have a lot of interest in. Speaking of bets and speaking of gambling, I went for it again. I put in a 16 probably, and it wasn't
how
bad.
did I think? I didn't even pay attention to it at the end of the day.
I lost the first one, the Pittsburgh game.
Oh, that's the best feeling. I get to I get to restart.
Then I was hoping, I was like, honestly, if I lose the first one, I might as well just lose all of them because I don't want to just.
You don't want to see the rest of them be wins, and
I
all of a
basically
sudden
lost all of them. I won maybe one of the 6-game parlay that I had put together, but it's only one bet, so I lost it. I went 2-3 on the weekend, so I lost a little bit, but not too much. And what?
No, go ahead, finish that.
And so that was mine. Now the other thing I want to talk about is
Jaray Jenkins
fantasy football.
I think we should talk.
Wait, before we get to that, before we get to fantasy football, did y'all happen to see the bet that I put in the group chat that went on? I put someone somewhere bet that it was Kevin Durant first bucket of the game, somebody else first bucket of the game, and somebody else first bucket 3-pointer in the game, and the odds on it was like $1 million something.
He hit it.
They bet 85 cents and won 20 grand on it.
Wow.
Fuck.
Why would you bet 85 cents? Well, if you're gonna bet that bet, at least like $5.
I mean, the odds were like $1 million plus.
$5. You spent $5 on way worse things than that. You know what I mean?
Depends on who you are.
But go ahead, give me
very
fantasy.
good point.
Give me fantasy football. What do you got?
Well, no, we're gonna talk about that last. We're gonna talk about last because we are. If we do have this guest that's able to come on
85 cents
in a
to
little
win
bit,
what?
20,000.
Yeah, he's probably kicking himself.
That's what I mean. Like, it's $5. Like if you won $20,000 to 85 cents,
What's the difference? Yeah.
That's a lot.
Here was the bet. The bet was Kawhi Leonard, first bucket of the
To
game.
play? Oh.
First bucket of the game. Kevin Durant, first bucket of the game.
Well, you can't do both.
It was a
Oh,
parlay.
on both teams.
Yeah. They're not on the same
First,
team.
no, first one to score for each team.
They wouldn't plan each other. Literally, this was just a parlay he put together.
Oh.
Kawhi Leonard, first bucket of the game. Kevin Durant, first bucket of the game. And how about this one? Fred VanVleet, first bucket of the game, has to be a 3-pointer.
And that's what happened.
The odds on it were 1,511,900. He put 56 cents on it. So if I had to guess,
Durant was out
no.
of money.
If I had to guess,
was
it was
the last
probably
one.
the last 50 cents he had in there. He won, and I'm sorry, I said the wrong number. He won $8,467 on that bet.
He had 86 cents left in the account.
I don't want to do the math. I wish what would $5 have turned that into?
I don't know. I don't even want to
But dude,
know.
what a just Hail
How
Mary.
do you put those together?
I'm putting this together. Got 80 cents left in the account. I'm
He
not
was
telling
yelling.
any. Dude, he's probably not even up. He's probably down still.
We're $1.5 million with the odds on this thing, and he was like, "Yeah, this is a
Good
good
for
one.
him.
This is a good one."
Fred
Good
Van
for
Vliet
him.
from?
Three-pointer.
No,
where did
college.
he go?
Wichita State? No,
Yeah.
Fred Van Vliet. Where'd he go?
I don't think you're far from it though.
Am I wrong?
It is like a mid-major school. Oh, the Commodore. No, not Wichita State. He went to. Was he with Shaka Smart somewhere? Mm-hmm. Where was that school?
VCU.
VCU. There you go.
VCU.
I knew it was a smaller school.
I knew it was there.
I knew it was a good,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
basketball school, but
Yeah.
smaller
Fred
school.
Van Vliet bet on himself. Speaking of gambling,
Yeah, he did.
He did, and
he
he got
definitely
the
did.
bag.
And he got the bag. Yeah.
So did Aaron Judge. Good for all of them.
Yes, he did.
I want to see everybody get paid.
Speaking of getting paid and
Getting a
betting on
raise?
yourself, Jaray Jenkins entered the draft, right? You have B.J. Ojolari entering the draft. You have all these guys from LSU that Ward entered the draft. Who else has entered the draft? out of
BJ,
Jay Ward.
LSU? Jay Ward.
Jaray.
Jaray.
That's it as of now.
Yes, but
Right.
we have obviously the transfer
No,
portal.
Makai Garner.
Makai Gardner in the
Gardner.
draft. Yeah, that's the
Full.
last one. You're right.
And then you have some guys in the portal, but it seems like you have some other guys in the portal coming back our way, and some and some recruits that I think are going to announce pretty soon. LSU's in a pretty good situation, I believe. And I know people want to talk about recruiting, and we're going to talk about LSU, and we can talk about that all day. But I think that there hasn't been anything that's been announced that changes anything outside of Toviano coming out and saying he's going to make his decision on the 14th. Like, that's new news, correct?
And I feel like they haven't lost. And I don't mean this by any bad ways to the Jay Wards. I think this is people you thought could possibly leave. You didn't know if they were or not. But there hasn't been anyone that's left where you're like, wow, that's a big hole we were not expecting to have to fill.
Well, I feel like some people are in the camp of after Kayshawn announced he was coming back that it's like maybe everybody's got to run this thing back. Like BJ, he's done all he can at the position to get drafted.
He absolutely should go.
Exactly.
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. You expected, there's a chance he might leave. And you were okay in a sense of, I understand it. And I don't feel like they've lost anyone, whether it be by portal or by draft, entering the draft, that you're like, oh, my God, we were not expecting to have to fill that spot, what are they going to do right there?
It hasn't been the, not to throw salt in the wound, but like the Les Miles tenure where it's like guys are just leaving after.
Well, but that was different, dude. That tenure was the earlier you can get out, the better you are on the next level.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I never understood how that happened in terms of like, you can improve your draft stock if you stay, but it was a bunch of like wide receivers. It's like, dude, I don't think I'm ever going to get the ball.
No, I don't think it was that at all. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh,
that time frame was, it didn't matter where you were. It was the quicker you can get out, the better. Especially if you are like a draft prospect. It wasn't really.
I see what you're saying. Like now in the age of NIL, and it's like it's a little bit easier.
Now
to
they're
say.
not penalizing necessarily. Like I say, penalizing. They didn't really penalize you for going back for your senior year, but yeah, you have a little bit more insurance to come back.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of guys come back. Now, there's always been a handful of guys that decided. We talked about Glenn Dorsey coming back. First using Peyton Manning did it at Tennessee.
Ron Landry. There's been
some
guys,
but
I think it's been
a
lot of those guys that have come back. It's kind of been on the. I mean, they would really have to bomb it the next year for them to not be drafted in the realm of where they should have been going this year. And
so,
with those guys being like, I want to be going. Like,
so with BJ going in the draft, obviously number 18 comes up to play again. That's a number that means a lot to LSU football. Who do you want to see wear that next year?
I think Josh Williams is the only right answer.
I agree with that. I think so. I think that he fits the mold there.
Or you have Kayshawn go from 7 to 18.
I was thinking about that. He ain't going to change none. No,
which would be the one of one. Nobody's
but
ever done
7's
that.
the one that like.
Yeah, the playmaker.
Yeah. What about you? You think you have anybody in mind that like, damn, okay, I would like to see this guy wear 18?
Because I would have given it to Jaray also. He would have been up for.
Yeah, if he would have come back for sure.
But he's the one. That's why I kind of brought up the conversation, is because when you saw Kayshawn come back, and maybe Kay knew that Jaray was leaving, and he's like, dude, I'm going to get more targets now because a little bit more of attrition.
I don't think they had.
I know, but I'm just.
No, I could. I mean, obviously, it's a possibility.
Because I'm sure they talk.
Yeah, that was probably. I think that was probably down the list, but you're not wrong.
I mean, it definitely didn't hurt. It wasn't something like, oh, like this is.
I like the Josh Williams. I like the Josh Williams thing though.
I was trying to think of somebody on defense, but I don't.
No, that's what I was trying to. The way his story is going and where he started and where he is right now, that
is 18.
It's a very fitting person for that spot. Yeah.
The only person on the team that I could feel like that would get it. I mean, I say on the team, on defense, maybe that if he came back, would be Greg Brooks or something. But he came in for this will be his second year. I think that since Josh Williams has been in the program longer, walk on, kind of. Made himself. I think 18 kind of fits his story fits 18. Yeah. So I agree with y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out Hunter Fournette. He broke the Aaron Anderson news, and also Radarius Jones, Moose State.
Wow.
So obviously he's good.
Oh, nobody doubted he was good. He just didn't play, and he wanted to change the scenery.
And if you think about that,
now who's going to be never mind.
No, I'm just going to say, if you think about the reason maybe he left is because there might be an influx of maybe 3 people coming into town.
I wasn't going there, but I hope that's the case. He's going to Moose State, and
oh, you're sick.
I'm not sick. I'm just saying who recruited him.
It's a good question.
I don't know. Look at me.
I mean, from what never mind. We're not.
I don't even know the answer.
Keep going. No, I'd love for you to step into the toxicity.
I don't want to step into toxicity. It's a very sad situation that's happening over there. I don't know what the situation is, so I don't want to make light of something that's very serious, even though I don't know details. You read stuff, but you don't know what's confirmed and what's not.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Very much so. Thoughts and prayers, because that's a serious situation, a sad situation, and yeah. All right, so we have been talking about how to make our show better and what to do. And part of that is we're getting new sponsors and more sponsors. We haven't actually signed the deals yet. We're about to. So we need to start taking just a few more breaks. I know y'all don't like them, but we need to give love to everybody that supports our show and gives us love and allows us to do what we do. So
and I have to send an email.
Huh?
I have to send an email.
Yeah. And so we will be right back in about 30 seconds. You're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Today's show is brought to you by Dos Equis. Here in Louisiana, we like to have a great time. If you're looking to be the life of the tailgate, check out Dos Equis mini kegs. Hold 16 beers, easy to tap, easy to pour, easy to chill. Check it out. Become a life of the party. You're welcome. Hey y'all, it's Mikey from Mik'd Up. I want to talk a little bit about my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette. They're locally owned and operated for over 25 years. They have 13 locations, 4 in Opelousas, 5 in Lafayette, 1 in Broussard, 2 in Jennings, 1 in Crowley. They sell any type of car you could possibly find: Buicks, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia, along with 5 pre-owned locations. They have over 1,500 cars in inventory on site. Unbelievable service, unbelievable people. If you're like me and you're on the go, they can sell and they can ship you cars up to 200 miles. Unbelievably convenient. Again, my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette, go to their website at saveatsterling.com. Awesome people, go check them out. Our What's for Lunch segment is brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. Maybe the best burger in town. If you're not looking for lunch, you're looking for dinner, go check out Doe's Eat Place. They have unbelievable choice of meats. They have unbelievable tamales. They have a great atmosphere, great vibes. If you're looking for a homey Louisiana type of atmosphere, but you're looking for high quality food, Doe's Eat Place is your spot. Go in the back bar, sit at the bar, have a couple drinks, watch some games, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the vibes. Check out Doe's Eat Place, the best place in Baton Rouge to get your meats. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Thank you for staying with us through the break. Those of you who have stayed with us, those of you who have not, if you have stayed with us, we are...
Well, shout out to the chat. They're breaking news over here all
Yeah,
the time.
shout out to the chat and for breaking news, because listen, we're on the air. We don't have TVs on around us with news. We probably should, but we just
have TVs.
We got a limited team here, and we're working with the best we've got. You know what I mean?
Not my best.
But hopefully this is going to be confirmed here soon. We potentially have a special guest coming on the show via video call in about 20 or so minutes, hopefully. We will confirm and then announce. And for those of y'all who stayed with us through the breaks, you're going to get a nice little treat. For those of you who did not, please come back. Come hang out with us again, because this should be a pretty good interview.
What's the saying? If you love it, let it go. If it comes back, the feeling was mutual. Like Air Bud.
That was an Air Bud quote? I don't think that was an Air Bud quote.
Well, no, because he got mad at the dog, and he was like, "Shoo, get out of here, go away." You don't remember that part? It was like the
Yeah, I remember.
Part.
That was like the climax of the movie.
But he came back because he loved him.
Right.
So
dogs love is unconditional, dude.
I know. So were rats.
My
man Greg somewhere in here.
Oh boy. Huh?
Maybe he's probably in your backpack.
Bro, I'm gonna take him home. I tried to feed him, and he attacked me. We'll get there. And I met a cat across the street today.
Congratulations.
It had a collar. It had a
Dr.
collar
Doolittle.
on.
Congratulations.
So yeah.
Congratulations. Did you watch the Heisman
No.
trophy? I didn't watch it either. Caleb Williams won it. Shout out to Caleb Williams. I think he deserved it.
Did you see what Stetson Bennett IV wore to the Heisman ceremony?
No, I didn't watch any of it.
Did you see what Stetson Bennett IV wore to the Heisman ceremony?
I remember seeing him a little bit, but I didn't pay attention to him that much, so I can't recall.
Was it trying to be cool and it wasn't cool, or was it like lame? Like, was it like him like looking like complete like?
Are we gonna do an early my fault, not my fault?
No,
because we're about to.
If that's it, then let's keep it there. Well, wait, that's the segment.
That's a tease.
Yeah, that's a tease. There we go. And I'm sure.
Fucking loser.
Okay.
He is.
I mean,
grow up.
Maybe. Yeah.
He's the same age as Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. He's picking on college kids.
Okay, Joe Burrow was
Joe did the same thing. What are you talking about right now?
Yeah, but he did it
Be a homer a little bit more, why don't you?
Yeah, I am.
It's not the age thing. Age thing's not why I don't think.
What did you say the same thing about Chris Winkie when he came back to college?
Yeah.
Oh, can you name every Heisman winner from 2000 to 2020?
You can. I know we've already had this.
Yeah. No, I can't.
Chris Winkie did. Played a little baseball. That's not his fault. Stetson doesn't have an excuse.
How many years did he? What do you mean he didn't have?
Joe was 23.
It's graduate transfer.
So
What do you want from me?
the age thing doesn't bother me. It's the way he
That's what I'm saying.
Like when he dropped the mic drop, I'm like, listen, you did it. It just didn't look cool. I'm pretty
sure Joe was an older Heisman winner than Lamar was when he won the NFL MVP.
He was.
Okay, so then we can't use that then.
Look, good for Stetson. His story is awesome. He's going to get an opportunity in the NFL as a backup probably. I think he's going to at least get a chance to make a roster.
Has there ever been a player that was also an insurance agent at the same time? Like, he could probably be an agent in terms of just, like, do your finances for you and play quarterback.
Well, insurance agents don't do finances.
No, I said it wrong. I would say he could probably be, like, an NFL agent and play football.
Why would you do that?
You're supposed to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I know that, but, like, why? If you're playing football, just be your own agent.
Yeah, you could just do contract law.
I don't think he'd be doing that. I think he's probably going to try to make his way in the NFL and
the
then
Saints draft him, I swear to
be
God.
okay. No, I don't think the Saints are going to draft him. But backup, we're talking about backup quarterbacks, and I know we are people want to hear us talk a lot about LSU. There's a break, okay? Let's talk about all sports. Let's broaden our horizons a little bit. NFL is still going on. I know you don't like it because the Saints stink and they're not fun. Believe it or not, I mean, they're not going to win the division. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they're not technically mathematically out of the playoffs. We can't figure out how to win. The 49ers can't figure out how to lose. They're on the third quarterback of the year. And
still smoking
Brock Purdy, and he literally absolutely murdered, maybe ruined, maybe ended Tom Brady's career. Tom and them are probably still going to make the playoffs, but they got boat raced 35-7.
It was 35-0 before they got on the board.
35-0. Brock Purdy, third string quarterback, comes out and absolutely deals, and now people are talking about him as like actually being the starter there.
Who you say? What's his name?
Brock Purdy.
For everyone who still hasn't heard of him yet.
BCP?
Yeah, that's Lloyd's. That's the nickname that Lloyd likes because people talk to it and it's just something right up Lloyd's.
Well, I'm not
Say
gonna
it, Lloyd. What's the BCB mean?
Big Cock Brock.
How'd you find that nickname?
They said they were screaming it in the locker room.
Who was?
The Joey Bosa.
Where did you find that footage?
And is it George Kittle or Greg Kittle? George Kittle. They said it. They tweeted it. I can't help
Did you
that.
ask if it was George Kittle or Greg Kittle?
Yeah, I got Greg on the brain.
Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen. He's in the booth.
I got Greg the Rat.
Greg Olsen's in the booth too, so that's a different guy.
Also, Third Leg Greg. Have you heard his rap?
That is what he calls
I've
himself
heard that,
in the rap.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Which, if you listen to him,
I just don't understand why you keep bringing those up.
I don't know why they keep.
He's got an infatuation, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, is this super bad?
They just happened to come to me.
Is this super bad? Do I need to look in your notebook?
Perfect 10, something like Perfect 10. It could be a bowling website.
Oh boy.
outside of the Eagles, the NFL seemed to be wide open, which I think makes it a lot more fun to watch. It sucks for the people who are trying to bet and win money. It also sucks for.
Are the Eagles good?
I think they've proven that they're good now.
They're pretty solid, right?
I think they've proven that they're good. They're a one-loss team, but the rest of the NFL teams that were supposed to be good aren't as good. Teams that weren't supposed to be good are getting better, and they're beating good teams, a la the Lions, who under Dan Campbell they were hoping to finally take that chance. If you watched Hard Knocks, you thought that they were going to, and they go ahead and they've won 4 of the last 5 games, and now they're still in the playoff mix. They're still in contention to win their division, right? So you get to see a lot of those teams in the NFL start to take off. Are the Lions real? Do you think they're going to do this?
I think they're real. I'm not sure. I think they're either going to make it in a playoff spot by the skin of their teeth or miss it by the skin of their teeth. But I will say this. If you watched Hard Knocks and you watched like how they were coached and that building and that facility and how everything goes, it's hard to believe that they weren't. You're like, man, ain't no way they're going to get just boat race game in and game out like they did. And they hadn't. They went 1-6 to start, but there was a lot of those ball games.
They were tight.
They were super tight. Really good.
They're winning games.
And then now they're starting to figure out how to win games. I mean, they were finding ways and figuring out ways to lose games,
close games,
even in the preseason. And like,
Jared Goff is playing really good.
Now they're starting to find ways to win those games, which is crazy to think.
And they're playing better defense.
They're obviously coached very, very well. Coaching obviously matters.
And they're fun to watch. I know they're favored at home against the 10-2 team.
Like, I take it back to this. Like, I can remember watching Hard Knocks when the Browns were on it. And first I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, how did they put this kind of roster together under the cap? They got way too many dudes here. But when you watched it, you're like, they don't really do it for me. They don't have it.
Dude, imagine having Matt Canada and Hugh Jackson in the same room and you saw it play out and they're like, they have final cut on what they show and don't show.
I feel the same way. I don't know how much I don't feel the same way when I watch the Hard Knocks about the Cardinals.
I haven't watched any of it.
I watch it right now and I'm like, yeah, I understand why they're not good. Cliff don't move me. Kyler don't move me. Like, they don't seem like this at all. And they don't play like that.
I need James Conner to move me tonight.
You need a little bit of movement. Just a little movement, too. Not even that much movement.
That's what I was going to get to. Also, do they play tonight, Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I just need 8 points to get to the playoff. I win. I'm in the playoffs. I need 8 points from James Conner to win.
What's the spread? Do you know?
I do not know. We can find that out.
Guess it. I don't know it, but I'll look it up while you guess both.
We're playing Patriots.
I think it's in New England, right?
Anyway?
No, it's in Arizona. I think Arizona 1.5.
Continue.
I'll take Arizona 1.5. I'll take New England at 3.
It is New England -2.
Ooh,
wow.
I was gonna say 2. I just didn't want to sound like I was biting off the 1.5.
Wow,
that's great.
Okay.
Over under
46.
47.5.
44.
Oh. I knew it was gonna be low.
You're building in a little teaser here.
Yeah.
Kind of low. Nah, you're the teaser. You're the tickle.
But I need that to happen tonight. That'd be great.
Quick little fantasy shout out to McGee.
Oh God.
Chris McGee's in the playoffs. Everyone. His team performed really well this year.
How many points did he score this year?
Not much, but he got into the playoffs.
Are you in?
No, I'm out. You know.
I'm in a.
You did your best. You had.
No, we had a good team. We just,
we had a good team.
I'm in a win and go home scenario. Here's what would have put me over the top. I know people don't want to listen to our fantasy football, but here's what put me over the top. I had McKinnon because I need a running back spot like last minute because
Bill Belichick's gonna out scheme Cliff Kingsbury.
I just need James Conner to give me 10 points, but
7.5.
10, just 10.
7.5, no fumbles.
Yeah, I had McKinnon, didn't put him in the lineup. He scored 30-some points.
New England money line.
All right, you're taking New England money line. I'm good. I don't know what I'm gonna bet. I have 3 minutes.
5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
New England doesn't win this game. They're out on the season. It's over.
I'm betting on the coach now. This is just a strictly coaching matchup.
Yeah.
New England has one good corner that can hopefully hold down DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't think anybody can hold them down. But if DeAndre is the only one doing something, and you can't run the ball at all, just triple cover him. I guess.
Pack it in.
Yeah.
Do you think Cliff Kingsbury would even care if he got fired?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he would.
I mean, he doesn't just hate football, and he doesn't just do it. He loves football.
Colorado offensive coordinator.
I think he's already got his guys. Mike Zimmer's a DC over there. How crazy is
That's
that?
unbelievable.
Is he really?
Yeah, I did see that. Think about that.
They're going to be really good.
I want to go watch a game.
I feel like Zimmer is
I'd love to go to Colorado.
I'd love to go to Boulder to watch a game.
He's looking for an excuse to get out there.
Have we got confirmation? Have we gotten confirmation?
Oh, yeah, I bet you do.
On my bet?
No.
I asked him what time was good for you.
I thought you said you were going to tell him a time.
I said, I sent you the link. Thanks, man. What time works best? He just said 45 minutes.
When was that?
6:30. So I was trying to do the math. So now.
It'd be now.
So let's see. Not in yet.
Can we announce?
Yeah, of course. I
was going to wait till he confirmed.
We've punted before.
Yeah. Okay, well, if he's available, I know we talked Pels early on the show with Jake Madison. This next guy's got a little bit different of an insight, and it's a lot of people that LSU fans enjoyed watching, enjoy listening to talk.
Enjoy following.
And that's Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple, they just landed in Utah, which I figured they would have left last night after the game.
They don't.
And then take the whole day off.
They
They travel on the off day.
In the NBA, they don't travel after the game. They travel on the next day. So they'll stay that night after games in cities, and then the next day is when they travel.
Even if they have back-to-backs?
Not if they have back-to-back, they can't do it that way. I'm pretty sure they don't do it back-to-backs, but if there's a day off, they don't travel the night after the game.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I remember hearing something about that.
I enjoyed that part.
But
I enjoyed
but some of
after
them
the game.
but some of them enjoy being able to stay
with their families. I get it. I get it.
Well, not even just with their families. I think they do this on the road too. Like I think if they were on the road today and they had another game, but he said that was today's Monday. If they play again on Wednesday, I don't think they play tonight and then travel tonight. I think they stay after the game there and then they travel the next day.
They play tomorrow and Thursday, I think.
You give it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah. Like I don't think they travel.
So you think they're staying in? They're in Utah.
I think
tonight.
their travel day will be Wednesday.
They stay here tonight. Mm-hmm. They play tomorrow in Utah and then stay. So they stay 2
there
nights
again.
in Utah and then fly out.
And then fly out the next day. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. You have basketball's a little bit more.
Get you out of the late night travel though. It kind of keeps you regulated a little bit.
Your body, it's a little bit harder on your body, so you probably have more treatment. You have more things you need to get done that night post game and do a bunch of different things. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. If we had an off day, I enjoyed traveling after the game, getting there, sleeping, waking up whenever, and having the whole day.
But listen, but if you think about it too, like I don't like dislike the thought of. You got it. I don't dislike the thought of, hey, if we stayed here and we had a, I don't know, 9 o'clock flight, and it's a 4-hour flight, and we get there the next day at 3. It's not that bad either, right? Like we don't have to wake up too early. Kind of get some dinner
just
there.
cross country. That's the only reason.
No, I know. I get it.
That's. I mean, that's. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's how they rock it. But at the same time, too, like say you're mad, like, and that's why I think they don't do it because they do it there, and now they're getting in at.
How do we
3,
get
4
How do we
a.m.
get tickets to the Pels game and get feet on the hardwood?
That's what we need to do. We need to talk to our people.
We need to talk to Caesars.
Yeah, we need to talk to our people, man.
Give me some
See
floor seats.
Let's get that done, man.
Feet on the floor.
On the hardwood.
Maybe need to borrow some of your kicks.
I'm trying to get one of those.
Maybe I need to borrow some of your shoes though. I need my shoe games to be tight if I'm on the court.
We've been working on this.
I know we're practicing. We're practicing. We have some things in the works. Hopefully. Maybe.
Oh man, the conversation with your wife about that has been classic.
I can imagine. What else you want to talk about? We're waiting on our boy.
Well, we're waiting on him, so we'll see. Got that going on.
Anything else happening in sports that we want to talk about?
Well, you know how this is. December gets kind of dry, but that's all right because we're here to get you through it. We're here to talk you through it.
How about Mike White in New York with the Jets? Like, this kid had like a spurt last year and then kind of was like forgotten about and then comes out, balls out, basically fights through. It seems like it wasn't broken ribs, but like bruised ribs twice.
Smacked, yeah.
You know, had to go get an X-ray, had to go to the hospital to make sure he was okay. What's a nice little camo?
I thought you couldn't see me.
And then he said he's day to day. He's probably going to be play this weekend, which he's been doing it, man.
That second hit he took, goodness.
Going now?
He's here.
No, but he just said let's do it right now. Got 5 to 7 minutes with him.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. All right. Do we need to take a break?
Keep going.
Okay, we'll keep going. Great, awesome that he's doing this, taking the time out of his
no doubt. Just landed in Utah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. Like,
did you tell him? I love that.
He was like, "How much time?" I was like, "Bro, it's totally
whoa,
like, bro,
what's that?
It's totally up to you, man." Like,
good thing you didn't have anything else down there.
That could have been dangerous. Oh my goodness.
Oh, they didn't know that we don't wear bands during the show.
Who? We? We?
Who's we?
You mean we?
We're just waiting.
I was how long I keep that going?
I thought he was in there.
No, not yet. He just literally just texted me. He said, "Yeah, perfect. Let's do it now." I said, "Yeah, just join the link, and whenever you pop in, we'll get it going. We can go to a break if you want, but it'd be our third one."
Yeah, we don't need to go to a break. We can keep doing this.
We're here.
So nobody watched the Heisman ceremony?
No, I was gonna keep.
I didn't really. I mean, I kind of knew who was gonna win it, and none of them really surprised me.
Did y'all watch the Army Navy game?
I watched some of it, not all.
What
of
a
it.
game! They fired the Navy fired the coach right after the game.
I'll be honest with you. You know what I did watch at that time? I 100% sat down and watched England versus France, and that was electric.
I haven't watched any soccer.
Soccer is awesome.
I'm gonna be real with you.
World Cup.
That was electric.
I'm gonna be honest, and I said I have not watched.
I think that French team too, because this little sidebar. I think that French team is kind of cheating, bro. They got dudes on like international stars on that team.
Well, they have a bunch of trouble as well. People didn't want to bet on them because they bicker amongst each other. Like everybody's with everybody else.
If you knew the names they had on that team, you'd be like, how is this all coming from one country? It don't even make any sense.
It's like the dream team.
They had 3 dudes who are like international superstars who were hurt, who didn't even play. You're like, wait, time out. And y'all still got this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy? Yeah, that game was a good game, man. It's a good game to watch.
I haven't even thought about soccer. Since the U.S. got knocked
here.
He's here. All right.
GT.
All right. We're going to get right to him. We're not taking no breaks. We're going straight there.
We're going right in.
Straight there. Is he on there? All right. We're here. Garrett, man, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you taking time out of your travel day to join us. We talked a little bit about Pels basketball earlier, but obviously you have more insight than any of us because you are actually there in the flesh. So I want to introduce Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple, appreciate it. How's Utah?
It's a little cooler than Baton Rouge, but not freezing. Not freezing, so it's good.
That's good. I know you don't have much time, so I'm going to get right to it. The Pels are one of the most exciting basketball teams in the country right now. I don't think people have really started to chatter about it in the national media. I think it's starting to kind of build that momentum. It feels like you guys are one of the top teams in the West. Y'all are obviously atop the Western Conference. What has been the biggest thing that you've seen? Because you've been all around, you've been in the league for a really long time. What's been the biggest thing that you've seen with this team to make y'all so successful?
First of all, y'all, appreciate y'all having me on. I see my dog Jared. What's up, bro? It's been a long time. I think just the fact that I think the end of last year had a lot to do with how we've been able to start this year. Buying into Coach Green's system, to how he calls us up and not out, and just buying into exactly what we need to be able to be a championship caliber team has allowed the younger players to even play better, more consistently, but obviously adding Zion in to what we have. He fits in so seamlessly. We talked about that at the end of the season, and it actually has come to fruition. So I think those two things, just buying in, continuing to know each other more, and then having number one added to the mix and him buying into everything that we've done before, just has really solidified our ability to play at a high level right now.
Garrett, man, honestly, man, expanding on that, like I get it. The end of the season was what it was. It was electric. The team kind of came together. They did some great things. You go into the offseason, you add a healthy Zion back in the mix. I understand that the end of the year had a lot to do with it, but being around for as long as you've been around and being able to do this for as long as you've been able to do it, does it surprise you how fast and how much these younger guys and have been able to kind of take those roles and really star in those roles and kind of help the team get to where it is right now?
Yeah, it does surprise me. This is not usual. This is not normal. Going back to what Herb Jones did as a rookie, and you can't say it's just the 4-year guys. Obviously, Herb Jones last year and Jose last year, and then what Trey, right, Najee, obviously Jose. But then you look at a guy like Jayden Daniels, who has come in unsung and has been amazing. Didn't even go to college. Right. I think we have to tip our cap off to David Griffin, our president, and Trajan Langdon, our GM. The front office has been amazing at finding these young guys that are jewels, hidden gems. Najee Marshall and Jose were two-way guys that have been flipped to regular contracts. Herb was a second-round pick. Dyson was a guy. People were talking about our pick before we drafted and saying, we have a young team, maybe we need to trade this pick. And they went out and found Jayden Daniels. Trey Murphy wasn't even on the radar, 2 years before he got drafted. He was at Rice University. So for them to find the guys that they've been able to find and fit it around what we have here, and obviously go out and get CJ at the trade deadline last year, all of these things, getting a Jonas Valanciunas, trading him, getting him to get an anchor inside. They fit it around, and then obviously signing Zion to the extension in the summer, when some people saying, I don't know if that was the best idea and things of that nature. Right. You haven't even seen him play with this team. But again, if you know basketball, and when I played with Zion last year, we were ramping up, getting him
Oh, there we go.
He's back.
Maybe getting a call.
I think I lost y'all.
Oh,
yesterday.
you're back.
Yeah,
You're
back.
back, I think.
At a certain level that, his IQ, his ability to pass, obviously his physical gifts, but the way that he understands the game and his IQ really allows him to fit in seamlessly, and you're seeing it right now.
And that was going to be my next question, but so this one's going to be a little bit of a twofold. So you mentioned Jayden Daniels. Obviously, you have a lot of guys on the roster that were undrafted or late round picks, and that they've kind of fit in pretty seamlessly. Jayden Daniels comes in as the 8th overall pick. How rare is it? Because you obviously are known for being a lockdown defender. How rare is it to have a rookie come in that young and be able to play defense the way he's played? Because he's 19 years old?
19 years old, yeah,
And
exactly.
he's locking people
Again,
down.
Right. It's so rare to have a rookie, whatever age he is, to be able to lock in and lock people down like Herb was able to do last year, right? You find a guy that's 19 that's able to do it. It's rare. Not only his defense, but his demeanor. He's very poised. I call him the Terminator. He just has a demeanor. Yes, Dyson, great block. Yes, thank you. It's just like
He's a machine.
great pass, Dice. Yeah, thank you. Yes. His demeanor. He's so even keeled, and I think that's the thing. These guys are mature beyond their years.
Yeah.
On the court, for sure, and that allows them to be in these spaces that most 19, 20, 21-year-olds don't do well in.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing. You see a Jose continuing what he did last year and even, adding to it. And more times than not, you would see guys, okay, if that was a fluke, then they won't be able to do this for a 10, a 20, a 30 game span. But we're showing that we're a deep team, and this is just how we play. This is not, a 5-game fluke that guys are playing like this. This is something that we have enough guys that can play well every night to be able to make some noise in the West. And I'm just so proud of the young guys for what they've been able to do. And I think the best is yet to come.
Do you think the youth of this team is like the driven factor where the hunger is in this thing right now?
I think that has a lot to do with it, Jay. We're young, man. I mean, you look at, besides CJ and Jonas in the rotation, everybody's under 30 years old. Larry's the other elder statesman. I think he's 29, but you look at Jose, Najee, Herb, 24, I think. Zion's 22, Trey's 22. B.I.
How often are you telling, like, bro, I'm going to bed. Like, y'all can go out. That's cool.
That's crazy.
All the time. Like I'm walking in, Jay, I'm 36. I'm walking in, and everybody has their PlayStation 5 cases walking in, and I'm walking in with
I got a book.
With my glasses on, with my book. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all.
I got a briefcase. They got.
That's it.
Exactly. I got a book to help my baby go to sleep. This is what I'm on, and they're getting ready to play Call of Duty with each other on FIFA and things of that nature.
awesome.
But I love
Hey.
it. They keep me young.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the age definitely has the age factor, man. The energy that they come in with is amazing every day.
G, just told me you've read more of that book than LeBron read of The Godfather.
Oh, God.
Actually, yeah, I have. I read this book already.
You got past the first
time,
page?
But yeah, I read this book already, but I got another kid, so I want to.
Yeah, you got to refresh. You got to refresh it. You got to refresh
I
the
see.
memory.
You got to refresh.
That's
I
it.
see you.
Hey, man, last question. I appreciate this. I know this is you had a long travel day. It's very rare to see this early in the season because, obviously a lot of people who are casual basketball fans don't think that NBA starts until Christmas, right? That's kind of like whatever. But it's so early in the season. It's such a long season. To have the rivalry and to have the chippiness and the edginess that y'all showed this past weekend when y'all played the Suns, it feels like that's like a real bona fide rivalry based off of last year, right? What did that feel like in a regular season game in December? And what does the future look like as far as playing them on the road, coming up on Thursday, and then hopefully seeing them again in the postseason?
Yeah, it's I mean, I don't like to call things a rivalry unless you play at 2 playoff series or something like that in the NBA at least. But I will say that both games definitely felt playoff-like for sure, especially after you said how we came off last year, and then the way that the league is doing it, where you play the team twice, sometime like baseball, like we play Utah Tuesday, Thursday, then we go to Phoenix. So playing them 3 times in a week and a half, and the way that we have been playing and the things that have been done, it feels great. Going into yesterday's game, everybody was saying we can't wait until we play these guys again. And now obviously we can't wait until we play Utah, but Phoenix, that third game is definitely looming, and we're excited about it.
Is that a new thing at the NBA?
It's just something different.
Is that the new thing with the back-to-back? Yeah.
Yeah, we put it in last year to cut down on some of the traveling.
Yeah.
So if you're in Utah, let's go ahead and get it done, play twice here. And so I think it's helped us out as teams. We don't have to, maneuver as much. So I'll be here in Utah for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, you get a little bit of the baseball life. It's a lot better than going day to day and having to move. You get a few days there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Garrett, man, I appreciate it. I know you've probably got some plans with your book. Some reading to do in your book and hanging out in the hotel on travel day. But, man, I appreciate it. Hopefully we can have you on more throughout the season. Good luck on this road trip, and we'll be watching.
For sure. Jared, I'm gonna go eat some food with Darnell Lazar. He's our assistant coach.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna go grab some food, man.
Tell him I said what's up, man. Love that, man. Wise words from a wise man, man.
Wait. Before,
my God, y'all have a good one.
No, before you go, just real quick. Have you ever seen anybody like Zion? You've been in the league in a long time. Have you ever seen anybody like Zion? Say it again.
Not close. Not close.
That's
not
crazy.
Close.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Not close. No, I've never seen anybody in the league. I've never seen anybody watching with my eyes. It's his ability to maneuver in the air, his ability to pass, his ability to spin, like his body control matched with his size, matched with his athleticism. People don't understand how fast he is. People don't understand how quick he can jump, and they don't understand the body control that it takes for him to do things. There are a couple of guys in the league that I've never seen. I've never seen a Ja Morant before. I've never seen a Zion Williamson. Somebody just out there. I saw something on Twitter. It says Zion says, "I'm going to dribble with my right, spin, and get back to my left hand and lay it up." And the defender says Zion's going to dribble with his right, spin, and get back to his left hand and try to lay it up. And then what happens? Zion gets 2 points. I mean, it's just like,
hey, you know it's coming. You can't stop.
Hey, you know what's great? You know what's great about
you know exactly what it is.
You know what's great about what he just said is you could legit see him thinking and being like, "Nah, bro." Like it's he sees him every day, and you can still see him like wild about it right now. Like he sees it in his head right now, and is like, I've never seen anything like this before.
And you can see him probably trying to set it up like he's gonna do it. Let's see if he does it, and he does it, and every time he gets the rack, it's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
never seen anything like this.
Coach, obviously the Pelican Suns thing has become a little bit of a rivalry, and you see the way that I'm gonna get him one more with Zion. Jesus Christ, that's what people want to hear about. And if you get whenever the way that he finished the game with the way that he flushed it, if it's not him, is it a big deal because he made it look so easy and also very cool? As somebody that's never touched a basketball rim.
Yeah, if it's not him, it's still the quote unquote unwritten rule. But I heard Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, and
he coached him up.
You play to the whistle. Yeah, you guard us. If you don't want us to score, guard us. I've been in the game at the end of the games before, and I'm telling my teammates, especially the young, like, go score the ball. I understand why they got upset, but CP missed the layup, and then he tried to steal the ball when Larry got the rebound.
Right.
So are y'all going to stop? So at the end of the day,
then he did something else.
Yeah. I mean, and Z said why he did it. Yep. I did not expect it. If you saw my face, I was like, "Oh, Z, don't. Oh my God."
You're gonna do it like that? He said that's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, it's fun to watch. It was entertaining for us. I'm sure it was entertaining for y'all. Obviously, got a little skirmish. Broke it up. It looked good. It's good. It's good for the team down the
Good for
road.
TV.
Good for the team. Good for TV.
Do you
too.
wear a cup when you play
No,
against Chris
Jesus.
Paul?
Floyd? Okay,
We're gonna put mute on him, man. We're not listening to him anymore.
I appreciate you, dude. Enjoy Utah. We'll have you on later on the show. Good
Appreciate
luck.
you coming, dog.
Peace.
Sounds good. Y'all have a good one.
Later.
Protect yourself.
Bro, you were
I mean,
unhinged
Jesus,
tonight.
Lord.
My God.
I'm trying to get him out of there. He said 5 to 7 minutes. He gave us 10.
But he seemed like he was having a good time.
He was having a good time. He's a
That's
great
not
guy.
the
He's
point.
just- I mean, I was trying to let him out. I didn't want him to feel like we were overstaying our welcome because he's our
I feel like
guest.
we were kicking him out a little early.
No.
He said 5 to
He
7
told you what
minutes.
time he had.
I
We
said
kept him
5
10.
to 7 minutes.
We kept him 10.
Yeah, I got him in here. And it's
You did
like,
get him in
You
here.
did.
It's like get him to the party, and if you're having a good time, maybe it's a little bit longer than you think you're gonna.
Y'all were in
stay.
school, what, 2 years together? Well, he's played 4 years, so y'all
Why
may
not?
have,
To
think it was-
fucking text him if you know him.
I don't have his number.
Send
it
it.
was in the group text.
He was. I was busy at that point. I was doing some stuff. I was.
All right. But
That's-
2 years, I think. He's 36.
Yeah, 2 years. I'm
Yeah.
Fair
pretty sure it was my
ex-
freshman,
is that
sophomore year.
that's a fair excuse?
What?
I was doing some stuff.
No, I really was.
You've given me that.
You want me to say it? You want me to disclose my whole day on
No,
the
I
air
don't
right
want you. You
now?
don't tell me what you did.
F45.
Because I'm not. No, it was not 8:30 that you said that.
I did F45.
Oh, it was
today.
tough today.
Brutal.
Woo!
What are they doing to
It was
us?
tough.
That was tough today. I ain't gonna lie
That's
to you.
Lloyd's sponsor, F45.
F45.
Hey, it got me to the point where like I'm like 8 seconds in. I'm like, yeah, that's over.
Hey, Mondays.
I'm gonna wait to the next
Mondays, that first pod, usually you just like kind of get into
Warm
it.
up.
one. No, all three
Not
of them. What
today.
do you mean? All
Not
three of
today.
them.
Oh no, it was murder.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, it wasn't
I enjoyed
easy.
it, though.
I did enjoy it too. I threw up right when I got home.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
He's a big throw
unbelievable.
up guy.
Big throw up guy.
Well, I took an Adderall before, and I was like,
But that doesn't.
Did you touch her him?
who's?
What? This is
I
a sports show. He is, bro.
we
It's
talking
like
about here?
it's like the punching bag's right in front of me. He just keeps swinging for it. You're unbelievable right now. This man really asked Garrett if he wears a cup while he plays Chris Paul.
Chris Paul is known for hitting
You're
people in the nuts.
unbelievable.
He laughed at it though.
He did.
Yeah,
he
'cause
loved
it's
it.
funny.
He
loved
laughed at
it.
it. He was good. He did great. He did great. You did great. But staying on the hoops conversation, right? We just kind of glanced over the LSU game. I don't think people realize like how big of a comeback that was. I don't know if people realize that they're even playing at the time, right?
I
Because
didn't.
it was a 1:00 game on Saturday, and it was on ESPNU. So like it was, it was nationally televised, and they were down 39-19 in the first half, and they
Say that again.
39-19 in the first half, right? At one point.
19 points.
So then the last 4 minutes of the first half, they went on a pretty good run. They got it to single digits before halftime. I think they went on a 12-0 run to go into half, got to single digits, and they just kind of chipped away. Because when they were down 39-19, they looked bad. Like they
I'd
did
imagine
not-
you got to look pretty bad when you.
they didn't look good. They were turning the ball over. They had no way of getting offense. They had generating offense, scoring points, nothing, right? And then
What
They
the
kinda-
fuck is Colt McCoy playing?
Kyler's hurt. He got stretchered off the field, carted
Really?
off, non-contact.
My fantasy team.
wow, I mean, this is gonna be a James Conner day, hopefully.
Finish your
Not
thought.
gonna be a Colt McCoy day.
Nope, that's tough. But
Under. Oh,
I in game under. I watched them. They didn't, but then they went on the run
Yeah.
and they started running the offense through KJ Williams, who ended up making 7 and 9 3. He literally
7 and 9.
from the 3-point line, 6'10" center, forward, I guess you would call him. Point forward. I don't know what you're not a point, but he's a forward. And literally all 7 of those seemed like they were from the top of the key, like pick and pop, coming down, trailing, and he shot it was going in. It was unbelievable, and they ended up with 35. He dominated the game. Adam Miller had his worst game of the year. Didn't even contribute offensively. Not saying that he couldn't.
Yeah.
He just it was one of those off days. He was getting shots. They did a really good job of denying the ball to him. He was struggling coming off of screens, and KJ Williams took the game over. Derek Fountain had a really good game off the bench. Defensively, he made some plays offensively. He's the kid that transferred from Mississippi State. He's from Louisiana, I believe,
seems to be a theme.
and transferred from Mississippi State. Forward guy off the bench, size, athleticism. He played really well. And then it was a tie game with 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
maybe a little less than that. And our point guard, listen, the guys he brought in from Murray State have done, like KJ Williams from Murray State. Is it Justice Williams?
You think Jock could come back with 1 year?
Oh, I love that. But comes in there, gets to the lane, lays it up, 2 seconds left, ball game. It was a good game. I mean, they're fun to watch because you can tell that they're
It's a different brand of basketball.
Similar to football, actually. Like, they have a bunch of new guys. They have a bunch of new guys on this team. They have guys that haven't played together. And every game they continue to get better and better and better. I mean, they have one loss, and the one loss was very controversial on the layup because they said that they started the clock late, so it didn't count.
And it would be like blaming the producer and be like, game's over. Be like, he's getting like a bunch of daps from the other team, but it's like, bro, this is not how this works.
Just because you messed up and didn't start the clock on time, you can't penalize the team who had nothing to do with that.
If that's the rules, we should be doing it way more often.
Yeah, because now they're saying, oh, we're going to go on estimated time. Well, you don't think the guy that has the ball is taking the ball down the court is going to look at the clock and say, oh, I got to get rid of the ball.
Right.
He's not going to hold the ball for an extra 2 seconds. So the only loss they have is controversial. They haven't played the cleanest basketball, but to me, that's a positive thing.
That's
because
also
you can still progress.
I'm about to say that's also the I guess the fruits of a brand new squad. New coach, new team, a lot of new players. They all trying to gel together right now, and they haven't gelled yet, and there's still only one loss in the season. That's kind of big.
Yep. And if you haven't seen them and you want to see them, they are playing tomorrow in the PMAC at 6 p.m. and we are giving away 4 tickets. Again, to get those tickets, you have to download the Caesar Sportsbook app if you haven't already, and if you are not a current Caesar Sportsbook user, use our promo code MMBBFull to enter to win these 4 tickets. Not only do you win these 4 tickets or have the potential to win these 4 tickets, you have a first-time risk-free bet of $1,250. And that is whatever amount of money you bet as your first bet, whether it be $100, $5, $500, or $1,250. It is risk-free in the sense that if you do not win your bet, you get that money back in betting credits that you're able to use and win money with. So MMBB Full to win 4 LSU basketball tickets for tomorrow night. We will have these giveaways going on throughout basketball season. January, there's a couple more giveaways and to some SEC games that I think people are going to really enjoy. So go ahead and watch them. They're playing hard. They play really good defense. They get a ton of steals. They're entertaining, and it's a whole new staff, whole new roster. I said Justice Williams is Justice Hill. That's my bad.
Yeah, well, I think Justice Williams was on the team last year, but
he's still on the team. He came back, right?
I have no clue. I haven't watched him play yet. But the only thing that I can contribute to this conversation is that Ace Wolf didn't play well, and they were still able to win.
Exactly. He's a different. I mean, you have 2 scorers. You have a scorer from the outside and a scorer from the inside who can also step out, which is, that's kind of how basketball is being played right now, and they play really good defense. So, they're entertaining. It's worth going to see. All right.
Is this what happens if I don't talk?
No, can we talk about
What
this?
do you mean? I was just talking for.
Can we talk about
hours.
this Jayden article that came out?
Jayden Daniels?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it. I haven't read it.
I'm just reading
read
the
it?
notes on it.
It's in the doc.
Yeah, I'm reading the notes on it.
I was literally
Have
putting
you
it
read
down when I was in here.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
What is it like? Tell
Can
me.
y'all give me the cliff notes?
It's as he talks about it. It's in the doc. Take a look at it.
I was going to let you do. I talk too much. You go. I'm trying to put this bet in.
No, fuck that bed right now.
No.
You've read the article. I haven't read the article. That's why I'm asking.
Well, a
what
lot.
you're
I
talking
didn't really read it.
Oh my god!
So why did you just say you did?
You said
I didn't think I was going to get called. I didn't think he was getting a pop quiz.
It is in the doc. Where is it in the doc?
At the bottom. It's the last thing in there.
What it talks about is.
Thank you.
And I did read
Jesus.
it. I just had to refresh my brain. It's talking about how Jayden Daniels is LSU's quarterback one, and it's not close.
Who's Matt Hayes?
He writes for Saturday Down South.
Okay.
Probably should have got him as a guest.
Probably.
But we kind of.
Maybe Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe Wednesday. But we kind of. We didn't do bad today.
Oh, we did pretty good today.
GT was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And Pels are hot and Pels are fun to watch, and it's worth talking about.
Yeah,
it's Louisiana sports, baby.
Yeah, but it's talking about how he's the right fit at the right time for LSU, and especially going into 2023. I don't know how close he is to the subject because obviously it feels like we know a little, not to say we know more, but we're so close to it that you get more of a dissection of the quarterback room. And I agree with him, and it was right for what happened in 2022 this year. Did it feel like Jayden Daniels was the right call because you got the good and the bad with Garrett Nussmeier? 2023, I feel like it's going to be a lot of what happened in the previous year where they're going to let all three. We've had this conversation before.
Yep.
But if he doesn't go to the league, and we talked about him being.
It's his job to lose.
Yes.
I believe that.
Wait, you said they were going to let all three what?
Compete. And by compete, I mean you string them along. Like
No.
it's a string of pearls. Everybody has to. You have to put another pearl on the string.
No.
But then you're losing Nussmeier immediately?
No.
If Nussmeier,
I think Nuss understands right now, I don't care how well I did in a half of football, I have to come out in whatever chance I get, be head over heels better than the other guy. It doesn't matter if I get one snap with the ones or all my snaps with the twos. I have to be head over heels. So with that being said, I don't think that's competing. I think everyone knows going into that thing that he is the starter. And it's not even because of, for me, it's not even because of what you'll get at the quarterback position. For me, it's because what you'll get out of every other position if you're telling the rest of the team that his job isn't safe.
I agree with you.
So when you say compete, I don't think there's really much competition. I think he's going to take more than the lion's share of the snaps with the ones.
As he should.
Unlike it was this year. That was competing.
Right.
And that's what I was going to tell. That's what I was going to bring up to you because I know you're right because you've been there, you've done it. I got kicked out of practice.
That's the first time I think he said, "I know you're right."
Yeah, I would be a fool to
just
not.
joking.
But, no.
I'm just
There's
going
been
back.
time-
I'm going
Ryan
back to the
Perrilloux.
Ryan Perrilloux conversation.
Still, we have to break down the snaps.
He still won't admit that one.
I've
He's
seen
I ain't
it.
giving
I've seen it.
I watched it. 21-27 against Middle Tennessee State. It was fucking electric.
Ooh, your boy had a couple
Yeah.
catches to that one.
Career day. And you go back to home like, hey, Perrilloux might be
Check the tape.
You're like, Matt, I love you, but Perrilloux's kind of finding me now. I'm open.
Oh God.
But if it was ever going to be a real actual competition, it's already been proven that it's not Nussmeier. Like they had the equal opportunity last year. It would have to be a stark contrast for Nussmeier to change totally how he plays, and it's been able to be seen with my eyes, which aren't good eyes, to see that it's Jayden Daniels gives you the best chance to win. Now, if you want to insert the third quarterback into the conversation, that's when it might get a little bit hairy.
I don't know if it gets hairy. I think it's Jayden Daniels' job to lose. I also think that
But I
Nuss
think
is
it's
going to
more-
stay until spring
That's what I'm
and see
saying.
if he can't win the position.
No, I agree. I
He's gonna
agree he's
leave
going to
after that
stay.
if he does not
I
get
just
the job.
don't think it's going to be as much of a quote unquote
Competition?
opportunity or
Yeah.
as what
would
he's
be-
probably hoping it'll be.
Right.
It would be an egregious error by the coaching staff to disrespect Jayden Daniels like
Yeah.
that.
It's not just
100%
disrespecting
agree.
Jayden Daniels. It seems like he has the
The locker room, right? now.
right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that would kind of be a slap in the face to the culture and locker room that you've kind of built. Not saying the other guys aren't capable, but based off of what happened this year, that's kind of how you have to go about it. Now, I'm assuming his decision's coming soon. You think it's coming before the bowl game?
For Jayden?
I would guess
No,
so.
it depends on his health. That's the only like wrench. In
I'm talking about the decision on him.
Oh, no, I kind of
Whether-
think it's going to be after. Like I kind of think
Whether he says he's coming back or not.
Yeah, no.
I kind of think he's going to play this game as an audition if he's healthy.
if he's healthy, that's what I'm saying. I think that's a huge crux you have to kind of lean on, or crutch if you're Jayden
But if
Daniels.
he's not healthy,
then I think he comes back because he doesn't have like.
you see what I'm saying? Like, what is that?
I know it's a hard question to answer.
Like, is that game, as they're playing Purdue in a bowl game, like, is that going to affect him one way or the other? I mean, I guess if he goes
I
out
don't
and
think it
plays a good
affects him
game,
bad. I think it affects him
better. Like, if he
if he goes
and
out.
plays well,
Yeah, if he goes out and
last
puts up
thing you
a
see,
the last
right.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a chance
Yep.
to improve his stock. If
Yeah.
he doesn't
Yep.
play, that means he doesn't feel like he's.
I think he's
healthy.
in a. I think for him, he's in a win-win situation. Really, like, all right, what's the worst that can happen? I got to come back here and play another year in
But
2023
it's
with a better
lose,
team.
it's a lose-lose if he wants to go to the NFL. Like, if I feel like I have to go out and prove myself and I'm hobbled, but I want to play, and it's obvious he wants to play.
But I say if in his mind he truly he wishes he was healthy or whatever, or he could say I'm leaving right now. it is a tough situation to go into in a bit.
Right.
I mean, in a way, it's a tougher situation to go into. But I do think if he looks at it from a realistic standpoint, it's a win-win situation for him.
Yeah. I mean,
Home
nice
is
to have
home is
experience,
what you
man.
make it.
exactly. I mean, if I have no problem either way, you know what I mean? Like, I think he played well this year. I think he's going to continue to get better. I think the ability to throw the ball and do different things, I think that's going to continue to improve.
And you saw it a little bit against
He's not going to
Georgia.
regress. You know, he's only going to get
Hard to
better.
believe
That's
he's going to
the best way
regress.
to put it.
Hard to believe he's going to regress.
He's not going to regress.
So if he went out there and got you 9 to 10 wins this year, you basically got to say, well, I think the guy that's going to come in after is going to get me 10 to 11 or more, and that's hard to say for somebody who doesn't have
Well,
Right.
And that's really
100 snaps on the field. You know?
That's really what the conversation is like, okay, Jayden's great. He gets you to 9 wins. You win the SEC West, play in an SEC championship, but there's always the, like, what's the sprinkle on top of, like, if it was somebody else, would it have been better? And that's where I disagree. It's like he did exactly what he had to do in order for
It wouldn't have been better this year.
And
I'm not saying it's going to be better next year.
And that's where it's on the coaching to say, hey, do you think that kid is at his ceiling right now, like his college ceiling?
They know more than we do.
I know, exactly. And it's like, do you think he's at his college ceiling, or do you think there's more? Because if there's more, there isn't a question who the starter is. You know what I mean?
Right. So, I mean, I'm going through the article. I'm reading a little bit of the article, and it was saying, the scout that they interviewed, obviously everybody's anonymous,
Right.
basically said, I've been scouting him for 3 years, so obviously a West Coast guy. And
Is it Herm Edwards?
what I saw him do this year was a more polished version of what he did his freshman year, and he went from an undrafted guy to a third-day guy in the draft, and this guy's evaluation. He thinks that he's still got a lot more room to improve. He came back, like he wouldn't just be in the same spot.
Right.
And just talk about how intriguing of a talent he is, right? And listen, we talk about Joe Burrow, and we talk about all these guys. Like, he's obviously not going to be Joe Burrow, and I'm not trying to compare him as the same player, but the situations are very similar in the sense that Joe came in after being at a school for a little bit, came in for his first year. Now Jayden had more experience starting. He comes in and he leads a team to 9 wins, 10 wins maybe after the bowl game, which is what Joe did, right? The next year is he took that next step and became elite, number 1 overall pick, and the rest is history. I'm not saying Jayden's going to be the number 1 overall pick, but if he comes back and he continues to improve, what he did this year was great considering the fact of the team that he had. Going next year with a whole offseason with him, who knows?
I think it's a great way if you think of it the right way, all right, to compare him to Joe in a sense of, I'm not saying and you're not saying that he has to be Joe or make a Joe jump, right? Joe's a different player, right? Like, they play the position differently. But if he's able to, in year 2, make a Joe-like Jayden jump, man, there's a lot left on the bone.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, there's way more there to see what he can put on the field. And you can't tell me you wouldn't be intrigued and want that to be your quarterback if he can do something like that.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see. His decisions, when he comes out and makes the decision, it'll obviously clear itself up. We don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I think if people had to bet, if people were betting people, which we are in here,
I just put in the under. It's at 35.5, which is high school.
I think you're in a good spot. High school under, that's a high school. I mean, high school would be over that.
Well, you
The way nowadays.
You played at a cool high
And
school.
now-
Wait, it's at
high.
35.5 right now? Whoa. Well, they haven't scored yet.
Oh,
Okay, good tackle.
just get to the goal line, hand the ball off. Let me just end this game early in the first quarter.
I'll give you 7. That's fair.
Huh?
You could score 7 points.
Oh, I
That's-
just
I'm
need.
cool
I
with
just
that.
need. Connor
He don't
to
need them
score
7.
8.
He needs a different 7.
Yeah, I just need 8 points from James Conner. I don't care how he gets it. Just give it to me.
He could come with 9.
Arizona could have 0 points as long as he gives me 8 points in fantasy.
Oh, okay, but then we're on the same team. I
don't
can't believe
care.
Colt McCoy's still out there. Do you think the game's different if he plays against Alabama and doesn't have a frozen shoulder?
Yeah, man. You think his NFL career goes different if that doesn't happen?
No, I think he's
Possibly.
exactly where he's supposed to be. Just like Stetson
He's done
Bennett.
well. Look, he's a great backup in the NFL.
No, yeah, obviously.
He's a great NFL backup.
Yeah. He knows his role, too.
Speaking of Stetson Bennett.
Yep. Let's
If you
get to the
wanna move to
seggies.
the
That's a perfect segue to the seggies. Not My Fault is brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. You've been hearing their ads and our commercials that we're trying to do more of.
Yeah, big lunch show.
Yeah, we gotta change that. We gotta fix that. But not
Do
my
it right now.
No.
You want the
Actually,
ball?
I probably would do it better.
I know. That's
better
what I'm
right
telling
now
you, dude.
than I would.
Oh,
when I
yeah,
have
we
to
know.
rehearse. Yeah, I'm not good on the
You
first
should
take.
see the promo I made for you.
Or the second, or third, or fourth take. What happened? You've messed with me on the promo.
I put all of your takes together.
No, you didn't. Did you really? No, you didn't. All right, not my fault. Brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. Go ahead. This is Lloyd's segment.
Not my fault. Brought to you by Assured Partners.
Doe's Eat Place.
Doe's Eat Place. Great place to get a cheeseburger for lunch. Can't have it for dinner.
Cannot
Get
have
a
it
big
for
old
dinner.
fat steak if that's what you want. What did they call it? Ochinko? The catcher's mitt.
The catcher's mitt.
Doesn't
but
taste like
doesn't
one.
taste like a catcher's mitt. As big as a catcher's mitt.
And this is something that I feel like is right up y'all's alley. Here's Stetson Bennett on the Heisman ceremony.
You need to move the game.
Oh,
Whoa, he looks like he's getting interrogated in a prison. Like in a
no, look what he's wearing.
Letterman jacket.
What else will let
I don't hear it.
Oh, I didn't play the audio because I don't want to get
Oh.
flagged.
Okay, perfect.
You don't need audio for this. It's the
why,
look, the visual. You
I
put a little
mean,
music.
I guess.
That makes it seem cooler. So
I guess if he, maybe I don't know. Whatever, dude. He's not. Doesn't come off as really cool, but that's what he wants to do.
you would roast somebody that did this. Do you know it? I didn't even get a Letterman jacket in high school, and I sucked at sports. Like, I could have gotten one, but they gave one to the water boy, which is what this feels
They
like.
don't give one. They go. You earn your letter and you get it. I have a Letterman jacket
No,
from
that's what I'm
LSU.
saying.
I don't ever wear. I don't even know where it is.
Exactly. But that was my point, is that, like, I earned my letter jacket, but they gave one to the water boy.
Maybe
And I
the
was
guy
like,
doesn't have another big, thick jacket that he could have worn in New York.
That's so nice of you. He's 30. I'm sure he has a lot of stuff.
How old is he? 24, 25? How old is he?
26.
26. No, he's not 26. How old is he? 26.
And try to be a lawyer.
I think he is 25 or 26.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
Yeah, but how
Yeah,
does he
they're
have,
called
I guess
doctors.
COVID eligibility. I mean,
COVID is a hell of a drug.
That
you're
one just
right.
got flagged.
What?
Can't talk about the COVID.
Can't talk about the vid.
COVID's a hell of a drug.
We got some curtain calls, boys. Curtain calls are brought to you by our friends
So
at
my
Assured
fault,
Partners.
not my fault.
Oh, I mean, I thought you were just showing the video. I mean, it's not his fault. He just doesn't have.
He
the
put it
coolness.
on.
He doesn't have the coolness.
Yeah, maybe some people just
What
He
do you-
thought it was
what do
gonna
y'all
look
call
cooler,
it?
I think.
Feel? This is
Yeah.
a
Savvy.
feel move.
He's got no savvy, no feel. Oh, he
Savvy's
may have
sold
savvy.
separately.
I'll
and
six,
he
baby.
ain't buying.
I'll say it, baby. He didn't take many trips down there.
No.
It's okay. Happens. I know a lot of guys like him.
That's the problem. You talk to him a lot?
I don't really. I mean, that's a different conversation. But I know some of them.
Did they pop the collar on the jacket and button the 2 buttons at the bottom?
Why would you do all that? That's a little extra.
That's what they were doing at my school, and I was like, yo, got a problem.
Oh God. Curtain call.
Curtain calls brought to you by Assured Partners. You got one?
I do.
Yes.
My curtain call.
Stetson Bennett.
No, it's in the doc. I can't tell what team it is, and I obviously don't know the kid's name. It didn't come from his Instagram or the school's Instagram. It came from the guy who was the photographer who put this up there. But there's a kid in the Louisiana State playoffs. I want to give kind of Louisiana some love in this thing. Louisiana State playoffs, who obviously has watched a lot of Green Bay games and loved the thought of the Lambeau Leap. Only thing is, his hops ain't Lambeau Leap worthy. So he tried to jump into the stands.
Try to do it.
And somebody pulled him up by his face mask to get him all the way up there. The video is pretty
You
funny.
have the video?
I'm pulling it up right now.
So curtain call to the fans, whoever's sitting right there, for whoever this kid is, because he just couldn't get over the bar.
Where'd you put it?
It's on the curtain calls, where it should be.
Oh, it's in the orange. Nobody's fault.
Boy, is Barstool Mincy getting hammered? Like, what is going on?
No, he doesn't
Wait,
drink.
you got to put the video.
No,
on
like,
thing.
he's getting crushed by Portnoy again.
Oh, that's their bit.
You heard me? Lloyd, you got to put the video on the
I
thing.
know.
It's in the corner.
No, that's the game.
No,
I
it's-
got you right here, dog.
there you go.
Man.
Check him out, man.
Oh, man. He had no chance. He had no chance.
Couldn't quite make it up, but he tried, though.
Now he's just getting
Now
bullied.
he's-
Just run it back one more
Wow.
time.
Hey, that's higher than you think
run
it
it
is.
back
Why does
one
he
more
think
time.
he did something?
Run it back one more time. Look at this. Look, wait till you see how they pulled him up. It's the funniest thing. Get up. Come here.
Ah!
Oh!
They pulled him up by the helmet.
Called him by the face mask. Wow. Like, not just like I'm on the thing. He didn't even have his hand.
He wasn't
He was literally
anywhere
being
near.
carried up.
It's acting like he
Wow.
did something.
Wow. Wow.
They not being able to
They
touch
almost pulled
Rose.
his helmet and shoulder pads off of him. He almost went back.
Ah!
No, come here. Come on up here.
Did you ever play in the dome?
No,
Me either. Me either.
never made it past the quarterfinals. Katie
Made
Anna
to
got
the
me.
semis a couple times. but
Katie
that's
Anna
it.
got me my senior year. About
Quarters.
1,
What was that? 2005?
6.
2006. That was
Two
my
lifetimes
sophomore
ago.
year. Yeah, Jacob
What
Richero was
the
there.
score?
Maybe
Contreras was there that year.
27, 26, 28, 26.
What could you have done?
We should have not kicked the field goal and just went for it on 4th down.
Did y'all? Did you kick? Are you the field goal kicker?
I was the holder. I should have just pulled it and just ran.
Fire.
I should have said, ah!
Me. My
Should've
turn.
been.
What's
Whatever.
yours? Your
Oh,
curtain call.
my curtain call is to, and I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass, but Desmond Ricks on his recruiting visit throws up the L at Alabama. So this is the picture on the screen. This man threw up the L, and I don't know what it means. I've been burned before, and it hurts my heart because we had Patrick Surtain in the bag until we didn't. We did for Harris in the bag until we didn't.
Well.
And he might be back in the bag.
Yep.
Santa gets to give 2 gifts, you know. No, you don't only have to get one out that big
This
old
is either
sack.
great news or the biggest troll job
And
you've
that's what I'm
ever
saying because I've
seen.
been following him since he was a sophomore in high school, and I'm really attracted to him in terms of how he plays.
Okay.
And this would be the next one up that LSU needs. And if this is a troll, I'm just tired of getting hurt.
You're getting. So obviously,
And Jared called it. He's like, "Oh, you're just a fan," and I was like,
yep.
"No,
That's okay.
I'm trying to be unbiased." He's like,
That's
"No,
okay.
you can see it in your heart."
That's what you want, and that's what we all want. Hopefully, it's the right thing. I'm glad you're giving him some shout out in the curtain call. Thanks for the LSU sign. Hopefully, that is
Please come.
yes. Hopefully, that is good news.
I don't know.
My curtain call. There's a couple. Obviously, I want to give another shout out. Not shout out, but I want to give another curtain call to the family of Mike Leach. Again, because it's
I think it might be officially official.
dire situation. I'm not listening to anything you say because I don't believe. Because you get duped on the internet a couple times on Twitter. I don't want you to get duped again. But my other curtain call is to Cam Jordan
What's going on?
because the NFL continues to try to
Bury
make an
the
example
Saints.
out of the Saints. This time, it seems like they maybe have gone a little too far because they fined the Saints $550,000, including Cam Jordan personally, for the quote-unquote
COVID.
fake injury that he pulled on the field. Well, Cam Jordan went to the injury tent. He has legitimate injury. He legitimately hurt his foot. It was swollen. He went through rehab all during the bye week. I don't see how
This man's never missed a game.
the NFL
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
would make
I'll tell you why.
an assumption and just say, okay, we're going to go ahead and do this without any fact outside of using their eyeballs. Now, if it comes back and he actually did have something wrong with his foot, how does the NFL deal with that? Because that does not look good on the office,
So
on the shield.
I love that that's a curtain call, but like for me it was, and maybe this is why the quote unquote memo was like sent out, but I'm pretty sure it was a week before that. And I don't remember what team it was, but goal line play was about to happen. They didn't have the right personnel on the field. Somebody was running on the guy. They literally have a view of the guy standing in the huddle, realizes that they don't have enough or the right personnel on, and then he just flops and falls.
Who was it, Derwin James or something? Who?
Somebody, literally, I don't remember who it was, but
the-
literally the week before. So I'm like, wait, this happens like week in and week out in the NFL.
Right.
So you could sit here and say, hey, we sent a memo out and it needed to stop. Shit ain't going to stop. It's called strategy. They've been doing this for a long time. They literally teach you how to do these things. Do people always do it in the most discreet way? No. But guess what? That's always been going on. So you got to find a better way to police that than just doing that, because that's ridiculous.
Well, because, and honestly, you do it, and now you take the risk of finding somebody, Saints and Cam Jordan, and the guy actually had a real injury.
If you can't figure it out and flag it during the game,
Yeah.
it don't need to be fined out.
Right. Agreed.
That's where I'm at.
But my current call is them going after him, and hopefully they prove him
Yeah.
wrong, and it makes its egg on,
I love it
on
too.
the NFL's
Yeah, yeah.
face. Good show today,
I love
boys.
him fighting it.
Actually,
show
I
today.
agree.
What?
A good show.
Oh, thanks. You don't usually
You don't
agree when I
usually
say
agree?
that?
No, I do, but I feel like sometimes, we're like, good show, but this one was a good show.
We got to get Garrett back on again too.
Well, we definitely get him back on. I feel like he could be
Yeah.
some good insight throughout the course of the year.
Yeah.
Can
That
be
was a great screenshot of when he ended. Crazy that he stayed in the show the whole time.
He's still here.
Still here.
Same
Thanks to
face.
Jake. Thanks to
Read that
Garrett.
book.
His face hurts or no?
A lot of Pelicans talk today. I appreciate that. We are live again Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. here in studio. And if you have not liked and subscribed to our YouTube page, please do so. Share it. Tell some friends about it. Tell some friends how dumb we are, how dumb Lloyd is, how dumb Jared is, how, just give some attention. Any attention is good attention. Just go ahead and give it to us. We love you. We love the show. We love doing this for y'all. Can't do it without you. Please like and subscribe. We're on all podcast networks, Spotify and Apple. And over the next coming months, we're going to have a lot of new stuff that we are doing and that we are continuing to grow. And hopefully that you like it all.
Might be exciting.
Hopefully so. We think it is.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy those Monday. Hopefully it's not a snoozer of a game.
Well, the rest of your Monday.
Hopefully
Peace.
it is.
The rest of y'all's Monday night.
Close to the end, yeah.
Yep. And the rest of y'all's Monday night. Some people are night owls. I don't know. All right. Peace.
Yeah. Shout out Josh Williams, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean.